Welcome back to Supersport Park. It is going to be another exhilarating match in a Momentum Health Challenge at Supersport Park. It's going to be the Impalas, Limpopo Impalas taking on the Northern Cape Heat. As Pendulo mentioned earlier, it's going to be a repeat of the final for us, where Limpopo just managed to come up trumps against the Northern Cape Heat. You have myself, Kat Maloney, on this beautiful spring day here in Centurion Park, and I'm joined by the legend that is Ken Borland. Afternoon, Ken.
Afternoon, Gert. Yeah, it certainly feels very much like spring. Beautiful, mild day on the Highveld, not a cloud in the sky. And we were richly entertained this morning by the Eastern Storm, who won the opening match of the Momentum Health Challenge, beating the Eastern Cape Inyati by 37 runs. And now the grudge match, a repeat of the Provincial T20 Cup final back on the 7th of April, when the Limpopo side beat Northern Cape by 6 wickets with 8 balls to spare. And Limpopo, really the surprise packets of last season, under new head coach Gordon Parsons, vastly experienced coach, who made a side who have never really been that competitive in Division 2 into an outfit that won their first trophy and was competitive across formats. It's going to be the Northern Cape Heat who have elected to bat first, as Morne Venter is opening the bowling for Limpopo. And a tidy enough start for both teams. Nice little quick single by Modiri Diteko to get off the mark, and decent first delivery by Venter.
Yeah, getting us off to a decent start there. Venter getting us off, and a very odd number on his shirt. Normally it's a 2-digit. He's got a 120 on his back. Maybe that is something we expect to seeing after he's warmed up a bit.
I presume it's not the speed he wants to bowl at. He'll want to be a bit quicker than that. I'm sure he is a bit quicker than that. Bit of bounce there, nicely handled by Ronan Harriman. And he's off the mark first ball as well.
Now, one thing that we've noticed in the first match is the pitch is a little bit difficult to score off on that back foot if you want to try and hit it on the up. It does make it very difficult, and immediately seen that with the length that Venter has started off with. This time going a bit fuller and just hitting that inside part of the bat. No lateral movement today thus far, Ken.
There was a slight hint of swing earlier this morning, very slight. But really it's not that sort of pitch. You're looking more, I think, for the variable bounce, the two-pace nature of the pitch. Venter with a slip in place. Very tidy, very tidy. His two boundary riders are at deep cover and third man.
I think from this end they'll exploit that bigger part of the field. It's about a 60-40 field split at the moment. Makes that third man boundary, if we look at it from this end, very, very far away. It's about an 80-meter fence.
Bit wider from Venter, and Diteko's got that straight back down the ground. Could this be the first boundary of the day? Yes, of the match rather. Yes, it is.
Lovely shot, just allowing him to free his arms just that tad wider. Could just put that foot down the crease and just smack it over the bowler's head. Just look at that, just freeing the arms, not completely timing it. Almost look, again, that two-pace nature of the pitch, almost look like he's closing the face onto the ball there. But the Northern Cape Heat is on the go. First boundary. Oh, lovely comeback.
Not as confident a stroke there by Diteko. He kind of looked like he was trying to cut, but it was too full for that stroke. And Venter ends the over with a dot ball. First over gone. Northern Cape are 6 without loss. Since that final, Northern Cape are a side which really is rebuilding, because they've lost a lot of players since the end of last season. Chris Brits, we saw this morning, playing for Easterns, and Grant Thompson as well. They've lost their fast bowling spearhead, Jan van Dijk, to the Knights. Jason Oakes, Hanu Viljoen, one of their more talented young batters, has gone to the Dolphins. They do have two vastly experienced players coming in, though. Hardis Viljoen, who doesn't need much introduction, and Ruan Halsbrook, who was actually Limpopo's leading run scorer in this competition last season. From the Hennops River end, it's James Albany. Oh, what a shot! What a shot by Ronan Herman to start the second over.
That's the first one we've seen on the up. We just mentioned how hard it was scoring on the up, and a lovely shot, just letting that hands go, and a beautifully timed shot through the covers. Lovely to start off your week, if you can time the ball as crisp as that.
Yeah, Ronan Herman, very talented young man. I guess if there is a time to be trying to score on the up, it's when the ball is hard and new on the surface. Oh, that was a big swing by Herman. Lots of intent.
Not sure he knew where he wanted to go with that. He knew he was going to go short side of the ground, just not 100% sure if he wanted to maybe open the face up and carve it over that backward point we saw in the first match. That was a very productive shot for the batters.
Again, similarly, a bit of movement back into the right-hander from Albany.
Just see him showing to the non-striker there that, that one kept a tad low. See this one, maybe again just eyeing up that on the up. Just opening up that front leg, and you can just see the reaction there, looking at down at the pitch. Cheers, Albany.
Oh,
just wanted to praise him and say, listen, after that 4, which wasn't a bad delivery, now going for that wide, first extra of the match as well.
I think he may have seen Herman just take a little shuffle outside leg, try to get it wide of his swinging arc, but went too wide, of course. Oh, fantastic shot by Ronan Herman, all the way over long on for a big 6.
And that was almost a check shot, not a huge follow through, just all timing, using the pace on the delivery. And that's the first 6er we've seen to the furthest part of the boundary. And a look at that, just stopping in the shot, and what a beauty it was.
Magnificent stroke, yeah. Albany trying to cramp him by following him outside leg stump. But Ronan Herman up to the task. One of the shots of the day so far. Tries to repeat it. Not too far away from rolling back onto the stumps, I would suggest. Coming off the pad there.
Oh, that almost looked like it was going to go out in a very unlucky way. Just look at that shot. High front elbow elevation. Half a dozen. The next one almost carbon copy delivery, but execution a little bit different.
Much better line from Albany. Herman, outside of some, it's almost like he's trying to overhit it a bit. That glorious 6 he hit wide of long on, it was just so effortless. He just stayed so much in his shape, relied on timing, perhaps the way to go. Anyway, it's the end of the second over, 17 without loss.
And as you mentioned, just trying to overhit it and maybe going offside, trying to clear the fence instead of just reaching the fence, because he's got such lovely timing, lovely hands that normally goes through the line. He's known for his timing of the ball.
Morne Venter is going to continue from the West Lane in. He played in that final last season, played in all 8 matches in the competition for Limpopo. Not too much success, just took a couple of wickets, conceded 10.6 runs per over. A little bit of shape there, but beautifully struck, but to the man, to the cover sweeper. Diteko falls for just 5. The shot was on, he just didn't place it quite well enough. And it's to the long boundary.
Lovely catch, and that man was actually about 10 meters off the fence. And that was one of those that you almost felt was coming because it was trying to overhit everything on the offside. Checking the drive, and it just leaning back. That means he just got under it a bit more than he would want to. And just lifting it up, opening the face, and a lovely take there in the end.
So Madiwi Diteko falls for 5. He faced just 6 balls at 1-4. And an early breakthrough for Limpopo. First ball of the 3rd over. And Northern Cape are 17 for 1. One of the other new signings this season, Tian Kukumur, who started his cricket here in Pretoria at Tuks. Moved down to the Eastern Cape, did very well for Eastern Province. Then joined the KZN Inland Tuskers last season, played in Division 1. They were then relegated, and he has now signed up with the Northern Cape Heat.
Yeah, moved around a bit, same province. Just moved around, hoping for an opportunity. Maybe you get snapped up, one of the bigger provinces.
It's going to be a leg by, I fancy, so not off the mark, or is it? Umpire? No, must have had a little scratch on it there, Tian Kukumur, so he's off the mark for his new team.
It's been very evident from, just look at that catch again. He almost misjudged it, came in a bit and then had to backtrack a few steps just to take it over the shoulder. Very well judged in the end. But you can just see the batters, the intent is first ball, I want to get off the mark. They just want to get off that dreaded Donald.
Venter in again now to Hellerman. Got hold of that one, slash past point, but the sweeper, such a long boundary out there, he can get across, and it will just be a couple.
But again, just trying to really smash it, instead of maybe just timing it. The placement on that big fence has got to be so good. It almost feels like it's always going to be 2.
Yeah, the 2s are certainly going to be quite important in batting here. We saw the Eastern Storm, I guess, set the benchmark for this pitch, making 194 for 5 in their innings, courtesy of a magnificent century by Kabelo Sekikune. So, I guess around 200 would be what to aim for again, Gert, for Northern Cape.
I think this power play is going to be the important thing for them, how they can exploit it.
Shuffle down and big swing across the line by Aman.
Quick running between the wickets, immediately noticing there was 2, and again trying to go for that very short square fence.
He obviously got a bit of a scratch on that because it's runs. I dare say it would have been a much bigger LBW appeal if he hadn't have got some bat on it.
Just see on that replay that stifled appeal from the bowler. You could hear that inside edge.
Skied up in the air, a lot of work from mid-off. Oh no, he couldn't quite get there. Valiant effort by Khaldise Malefe. But Ronan Herman is living dangerously here. He gets a couple more runs. 17 he goes to. And the score is 24 for 1 after 3 overs.
What a catch that would have been if that came off. That would have been on the highlights reel of any competition. Just look at that. Look at the ground he's covered, and inches short would have been a phenomenal catch.
Yeah, good effort by Molefe. He turned tail and chased pretty much immediately and made good ground, but it was always just a little bit out of his reach. So half chance. Bit of a heart and mouth moment for Ronan Herman as we see another change of bowling for Limpopo, and it's Don Radebe, who was the leading wicket taker in this competition last season. 20 wickets in 8 matches and an average of just 9. His economy rate was 6.54. So the medium pacer is their key bowler, really. Nice and straight, tucked away, very well timed by Tian Kukumua. 4 runs.
Tian Kukumua just got the bat down in time. It just stayed a little bit low as well. You could just see him dabbing it down onto that wideish fine leg area and picking the gap to perfection. That's 4 runs. Lovely wrist work there.
Yeah, he's turned a perfectly good delivery into a boundary. Pressure on the bowler. Oh, it's good fielding. Very sharp.
Oh, that backward point walked in at a rate of knots.
Ludwig Keisner.
Just cut off that angle.
Oh, lovely pickup shot by Tian Kukumua. 1 bounce over the boundary. Well, Radebe's bowling nice and straight, but perhaps to Tian Kukumua, who's shown he's very, very strong off his legs, perhaps he needs to be getting a bit more outside off stump.
Yeah, I think that he's trying to get the bit of swing that he knows he has, getting it to shape into the right-hander, and it's just not happening for him at the moment. There's no lateral movement.
And it's going to be another boundary for Northern Cape. Radebe just battling to find the right line to Kukumua here.
Like I said, I think he's trying to shape it into the left-hander, but he's starting it way too straight. He's almost aiming for middle, and they're just ending up on that legs, and Tian Kukumua needs no second invitation. Already a trifecta of boundaries in this over, and there's still 2 deliveries to go.
The captain resisting the urge to push fine leg back. He's still in the ring. Fuller and straighter, better, but they will still get the single.
Great batting. Great communication between the two as well. Ronan Herman very quick between the wickets.
And he really had to trust his partner there because he basically just had to go on the call, the ball going behind him. But he was off straight away.
The casualties thus far has been Diteko. We were actually hoping for a little bit more from him.
He's been in very good form. He was one of the stars of the South Africa emerging side in Zimbabwe recently. Right in the block hole, dug out though by Herman. He'll get a single to end the over. 4 overs gone, 38 for 1. Tian Kukumua has raced to 14 off just 6 deliveries, and Herman has 18 off 12.
It shows you what a good over can do. All of a sudden, the run rate has shot up to a 9.5 with that over. Exactly what the Northern Cape Heat would have wanted after winning the toss and electing to bat.
Yeah, another couple of overs like that will get them up to something approaching what Easton's made in their power play, 61 without loss. As we're going to see another change of bowling now at the Hinops River end. Daniel van der Merwe, who was another one of their stars last season, 13 wickets in 7 matches. Also contributed with the bat, striking at 154. And he was the hero of the final with 4 wickets.
Another big left armer coming in. Oh! Great fielding once again.
Kleisner is looking very alert and alive in the field.
I'll tell you what, he's got a mix between a John T. Rose, Ricky Ponting field there at points. He's walking in extremely quick. He's cutting off that angle almost abruptly every time. And that's the second time that he's put pressure on the batters.
Slip has been done away with now by Limpopo. It's not really well connected, but it's gone over mid-off again. Malefe Fields, just the one. Ronan Herriman really swinging hard again outside that off stump, but not really getting the timing at the moment.
I think maybe it's just time for his partner. Just walk up to him and say, hold on. You see that I've been just timing with the ball and still going to the fence, so let's get the basics right first.
Bit of swing from Van der Merwe, but beautifully just pushed down the ground for 4 by Ronan Herman. That was lovely. It was overpitched, but beautifully put away by Herman.
Didn't try and overhit this one. That was the key. He was shaping up to actually go over mid-wicket. Look at it. And then all of a sudden the ball just dipping that in a lovely straight bat. Just all timing, no force, 4 runs.
Well, those have been his 2 best shots in his innings so far. The ones where he's really just stroked the ball. It might be called wide. It is. Yeah, it was past the guidelines, certainly.
See the bowler just inquiring, didn't he move over far enough? Because it's also been a noticeable change in all batters over the last, let's say, 18 months, where they've prompted to go over that off stump, not just a 2 stump or a middle stance. They go over that off stump. Again walking across there, as I mentioned, again forcing it wide.
Yeah, we saw Kabela Sekikune in his 100 this morning, often actually taking guard outside off stump.
It almost looked like he was standing on a different pitch at one stage.
Just messing with the bowlers' minds a bit, and consensus Daniel van der Merwe is a bit uncomfortable with Herriman stepping outside off stump, back-to-back wides. That was better. Herriman trying to open up that short leg side boundary.
And again, he played a beautiful, about 80 meters 6, just by timing the delivery. Don't need to force it.
Slapped high and handsome. Will it beat the man? Yes, 1 bounce 4. Oh, the fielder was a bit too far in from the boundary there. It is such a long boundary, though, that you can kind of forgive him for that. But on that occasion, he needed to be on the fence.
Yeah, that's the one he needed on there. But again, he's got such a huge area to cover there. The previous one you saw, he judged to perfection. This one just coming in a little bit with the angle, and then noticing that it was too far gone. But finally, another one that's been timed properly by Herman.
Yeah, Loden Steenkamp on the fence there. That's a good delivery by Van der Merwe, that wide Yorker to end the over. 5 gone, 50 for 1. Another good over for Northern Cape.
That's 1 more over left in this power play. They got 50 on the board, going at 10 runs exactly to the over. Exactly what you want in that power play. And as we saw in the previous game as well, the spinners actually had big say in the match. They did go for a couple of runs, but it was only to the likes of Sekokune that actually hit them. Just confirmation there, Northern Cape Heat 50 runs. Partnership is 33 already.
Ronan Herman, just 20 years old, but very highly rated. He's got a rookie contract with the Joburg Super Kings, wicketkeeper batsman.
Just see a change in the field there. Deep point coming in. He's got third man and square leg on the fence.
Can't beat mid-off that time, Tian Kokomo.
For the first time, he actually looked like he was forcing it a bit there as well. Noticing that is the last over of the power play. Albany coming in for his second over. 11 runs off his first.
Worked nicely again off his pads by Tian Kokomo for the single. Jesse Albany back into the attack after the one over of Don Roderbe. Didn't go as well as Limpopo would have liked, gone for 14 runs. So Albany back.
And they started all very well, just digging it into the deck, making the deck work for them. And then just varying those lines and lengths a bit.
And taken at extra cover.
And you can see the delight of the fielder there, just showing left and right. I'm there. I'll cover everything. And it's again one of those forceful shots on the offside. He's just trying to overhit it completely and just could not clear the man there at extra cover.
He timed it quite decently, but did not have the elevation this time, Ronan Helleman. Also, Albany did well to get it quite wide of him, so perhaps came off towards the bottom of the bat. He could only just reach it. And again, that good length, hitting it into the deck. It comes off a bit slowly. It's difficult to really get the best timing on it. And a promising innings by Ronan Herman ends on 28 off 18 balls. The Northern Cape Heat are 51 for 2 midway through the sixth over. And it looks like Ruan Haasbroek, who, as we said earlier, was the leading run scorer for Limpopo in the T20 competition last season. He's now moved to Northern Cape, and he's going to have his first innings for them now against his former team.
That's going to be one of those occasions where you just got to reset a bit. They had a fantastic start, great run rate, 2 wickets in the power play. The set batter is sent back to the hut. So maybe just consolidate, be happy with the 1s and 2s. Only 3 deliveries left in the power play. Just reconsolidate that.
Yeah, we said Easton's made 61, but I fancy that was maybe a bit above par because the Inyati didn't really bowl very well up front. Albany again hitting the deck hard. They have to scamper here. 2 for the 1, and there's going to be a boundary overthrow here. I think it was worth an attempt at the run out.
Definitely worth a shy. I think he would have been a couple of inches short. And immediately, again, that mindset of getting off the mark very first. Oh, look at that. How close would that have been? Backing up was a horrible.
I think he was in. It was quite a risky single, though. Hit straight to the man at mid-wicket. And there was backing up there, but it just somehow eluded them, so no fault of the thrower there. Another single for Tian Kokomo.
We mentioned earlier that the mindset of the Northern Cape Heaters. Every single batter that's coming has almost played tip and run with that very first delivery. They just want to get off the mark, put the pressure on the fielders. And it's maybe something for the other teams just to be wary of playing against them, that the first delivery they're going to try and get off the mark as the week goes on. Just be careful not to give a game plan away.
That's a good bouncer by Albany. Tennis ball bounce. And end of the power play. 57 for 2 then for Northern Cape. So a decent start. Limpopo will be happy though with a couple of wickets. Just to sort out a bit of confusion with the jerseys again. Apparently the teams haven't had all their jerseys delivered yet for the new season, which officially gets underway in September. So the Limpopo wicketkeeper is not Khadebe. He's wearing a Khadebe shirt, which I fancy belongs to Don Radebe, the bowler. The wicketkeeper is Sizwe Masondo. And there's a Radebe in the field as well, who's not Radebe. Oh, sorry, there's a Masondo in the field, who is not Sizwe Masondo. He's the wicketkeeper. Daniel van der Merwe in again. And Kukumu again, just scoring run and ball with ease, really. He's got 17 off 10 now. Very good at manipulating the ones so far in this innings.
Yeah, playing the ball under his eyes very well is Kukumu at this stage. He's just letting the ball come to him, feeling the pitch out, feeling the pace of the deck.
As there's going to be a change now with Long On coming into the ring for the new batter, Haasbroek. Oh, full toss. No, that's too high and probably down leg as well. Lucky to get away with that, Daniel van der Merwe.
Well, the batter's pretty lucky to get away with that as well. That was very close to a very unforeseen accident. Look at that. Oh, a little bit lower. The voice would have gone up. Very lucky to get away with it. Stifled appeal.
Oh, that's come out wrong, and that'll be a wide. Masondo tidies up well behind the stumps.
Covered a long way, did the keeper there. That kind of just flew out the hands there. Very lucky not to be called a no ball. That was very, very wide. Venter maybe just trying to get too much pace. Just forcing it, bowling it out the shoulder instead of let the action just do the work.
Oh, beautifully timed, off the hip, all the way for 6. What a shot that is.
What a pickup shot that is. As soon as he goes straighter, just a lovely pickup. And Rowan Haasbroek get his his boundary account going with a lovely 6. You can see why he was the leading run scorer last year rather. Just lovely pickup, short arm jab, up in the air. Lovely stuff.
That's a squeezed past point for a single by Haasbroek. Nearly finding the block off Van der Merwe, but it's very well put away by Tiaan Kukumu. Got to feel a bit for the bowler there. He was just maybe 6 inches off his mark, and Tiaan Kukumu really brilliantly put away for 4.
Tell you what, Tiaan Kukumu's wrists is amazing. That was a lovely flick of wrists. And good cricket at the moment by the Northern Cape Heat as well, because after that mammoth 6 from Rowan Haasbroek, just opting for the single, getting Kukumu on strike, and now again this one, just a lovely flick of the wrist through that mid-wicket area. And timing sublime.
Van der Merwe goes short now and just paddled for 1. And that'll end the 7th over. 71 for 2. Another productive over for Northern Cape Heat.
And it's an Northern Cape Heat who won the toss and elected to bat. And the Limpopo Impala started off well, and oh, what a power play it was for Northern Cape Heat. There's 71 for the loss of 2 wickets after 7 overs. They got Kukamur on 22 and Haasbroek on 12, as I'm joined by Pendulo Makubane. You just sat back and you just enjoyed the cricket.
You guys had all the show, you and Ken. And all I could do is sit and enjoy the show as you bring us all of this ball-by-ball information. 71 in 7 overs. It's a really good start to this from the Limpopo Impalas.
It is going to be a very, very important change this as the spinners come into the attack. Molefe going to try and take all the pace off. We saw in the first match that worked really well, especially for the Eastern Storm. Just trying on those legs of Kukamur, which you don't want to do.
Not at all. And you know, as we look at how the two teams are playing.
Talk about a catch.
The Northern Cape Heat are on 72 for 2 after those 7.1 overs, and it seems as if the batting has become slightly easier over the course of the day.
You know your season is a long time off when the commentators take catches up here. When you've really missed the season. Another dot ball. This is what they need to string together. A couple of dots. Haasbroek going for it. Just the lack of pace. Not able to get straight down past the bowler.
Wonder how it's like. Rowan Haasbroek is here playing against his former team. In the very finals, he was wearing the opposite colour shirt, and he played really well in that final game, scoring 38 runs. Now he's decided, let me come back to the other side. Let me try help these guys win, because I've helped the other guys win already.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you gotta know there's 1 or 2 words being exchanged. Always concerned, as I say, cricket is always concerned about someone's family, especially the sister and the mothers, that sort of thing. Very concerned.
And they have a very funny way of showing that concern whilst you're in the field.
Another single there. The moment Kukamur is just waiting for them to bowl at him. Or Haasbroek rather. Running between the wickets, very good. Field nicely spread. That's far. Good over by Molefe.
And Tiaan Kukamur is a very good player. He used to play in the Tuskers team, and he was one of their leading players, both with the bat and the ball. He was really good for them, Tiaan Kukamur, but problems within that structure which saw them getting relegated down to Division 2. So Tiaan Kukamur and a whole host of other players leave the Tuskers. Here in the Northern Cape, we have Tiaan Kukamur who left, and also Delivio Regaard. Delivio Regaard, he plays for the Limpopo Impalas, the opposite team. He also has left the Tuskers. So as we watch Tian Kukamur, the left-hander, we're about to see some really good batting.
Got another change in bowling. They're going to change ends with Don Radebe, which first over went for 14 runs. Not go according to plan, but he's got a bit of protection on the fences now. Long on, long off on the fence. Oh, starting off with a leg side wide. He's also got that square leg and fine leg on the fence as well. You can see the line that they're bowling. They want to go to the big end of the field.
Much more easier to control the damage from that side. Deep square leg, deep fine leg, maybe hoing one to the top.
Another one just not getting it right today is Don Radebe. Thus far 16 runs and not a legal delivery in this over thus far. Oh, I just love to hear that. You can just hear the encouragement from the field. Good adjustment, much better delivery. Now he wants to stay there for the entire over.
That should be his working areas. Should just remain there until the batter does something that should push him off. But we saw with how the Storm were bowling in their previous game, those were the lengths that they were operating in, giving the batter some troubles.
Another flick of the wrist. This will definitely double up on this one. Great running. There was no doubt in his mind that he's going to come back for the second. Made it easily.
Right there, but just struggling with a little bit of control here to keep the ball in a consistent area. Two balls really just trailing down the legs. The only good ball was the first legal one. That is the areas he wants just over that third off stump. Can say that one is a little bit too short, but just didn't pick up as much due to the lack of pace, but he's still searching for the areas.
And he's just jumping wide of the crease when bowling to the left-hander, which I find odd because his normal shape is into the left-hander. Might want to get closer into the stumps, maybe get the angles a bit closer, attack that off stump, and hopefully there's a bit of movement from there. He's got protection on the fence straight past him, so maybe force the batter to drive a bit more. Going into Ruan Haasbroek, who walks across, and another leg side wide. It's the third one in the over.
It's what he has to deal with now in adjusting. You have a left-hander whom you are bowling to the pads and to the hips too. Now you've readjusted that line. Now you must bowl to the right-handed Haasbroek.
Oh, flash hard. It's a 4 past that short third man. Oh, bit of luck there as well.
Flashing hard. The ball was short and wide enough to try and attempt that shot. For a moment when the ball left the bat, you would think that the man standing at what looks like gully would have a chance to just grab it. But unfortunately, it goes past him. No one standing at third man. It goes for 4.
Don Radebe just really struggling to find his areas.
As you can see, just justified with that delivery. Completely different from the previous one. Nearly slipping down the legs as well. Nearly giving Haasbroek a chance as they appealed.
And he's got protection on that fence, but it's the short part of the boundary, so you don't really want to go there. That one just underneath the foot. Haasbroek missed out there. Oh, much better delivery. I think that's what we're used to from Don Radebe. Just probing outside that off stump, forcing the batter to play. It's the end of the over. It's the end of Radebe's second over, and it's the end of the 9th. It's 86 for the loss of 2.
Not really the greatest over. 3 extras because of that wide. Wouldn't say there's a delivery that looked threatening to take a wicket from Radebe. It wouldn't look like there was a string of deliveries looking to set up a wicket either.
And that makes it very hard for your captain because he's kind of your go-to guy. Molefe into the attack. But a shimmy down the track and a one bounce to the fielder. Has a hard time collecting it. And what a throw that is, and how unlucky for the bowler. Direct hit from the fence, and they scamper through for a stealer.
I really like what the SA20 brought about when they said that if it's going to be a direct hit from the run out or from a shy at the stumps, the ball goes dead. Why punish the fielders?
Oh, this one's panked down the ground. Long off coming in, picking it up. Yeah, that would have been great. I mean, what a piece of fielding. Rocket arm, cluttered into stumps. Allows you to take a second.
Not fair. However, it doesn't change the fact that the game is sitting here on 89 for 2. This partnership has grown to 38 runs between Kokomura and Hasbrook. They're just batting off each other so well here. Yeah, the game has seemed like it's quite down for a 2020 game, but it needs these phases so that they lock in their position and then start to accelerate later.
They've had such a great start in that power play, where they're going at nearly 10 and over, that they don't really need to take any risks now. They can just play normal cricket. They're knocking the ones, knocking the twos. Molefe is bowling well. So he's not giving them anything. He's bowling that hard length. It makes it very hard to hit through the line. Another flick of the wrist just off the pads. Is Tiaan Kokomura. Short end of the boundary, short end of the field. No, only chance for one.
Right, and it's every now and then where after you construct such a good over, you'll just let loose one that goes for a boundary, or the following over doesn't back up the over that has been previously bowled. Which is why, even though it looks slow, they're going at nearly 10.
Oh, this time round going straight downtown. It looks like it's going to be a maximum. Yes, it is. Sixer.
There it is, Gert. You bowl a brilliant over and then you just give that one away, which returns the momentum back to the batters. It was a fantastic hit from Ruan Hasbrook, really getting under that and hitting it straight over the top where there's no fielder, no threat. And he gets that 6 runs and turns an over that was going for 5 runs to 11. It's 97 for 2.
See the bowling figures there. Mornay Venter picking up a wicket, going for 13 runs. Albania also picking up a wicket, going for 18. And then Don Radebe and Van der Merwe, 12 and 13 respectively, runs to the over as we see the return of Venter. Going to try and just stem the flow of runs here.
Most important thing is to see if they can break this partnership, which is on 46 runs. He's already gotten that 1 wicket at good economy as well, has Venter.
Oh, they're going to double up. Oh, slip there. And it was just Hasbrook that slipped there. They were going for that second. A lot of pressure on the fielder there.
It's really good batting from these two. They're not frustrated. They're not looking to do things out of the ordinary. They're playing each ball on its merit. And they're using the field really well to their advantage. It always feels like every ball is going to add on to the score for the Northern Cape Heat.
Oh, walking across and just flicking it past that man at fine leg. And it's a 4 runs once again.
100 runs up as well for the Northern Cape Heat with that boundary from Ruan Hasbrook. He used to be their saviour, and now he's the thorn in their sight as they start this new season. And it's 4 runs behind square, very well placed. Shorter boundary, no one protecting the boundary on that side except for long on and deep square leg.
Going across again, big appeal, but hitting him way outside the line. You can see him just punching the bat there. He knows he missed out once again. Exact same length, could have picked that one up again.
Seems exactly like he's gunning for that area behind square. there's just a third man behind there, and the third man is in the inner circle, so go either left or right to him. It's a definite boundary.
Oh, going for it again. You just see that finally also walking up from the circle. So he's about 10 yards from the circle already. He's not finishing up. So any bat on that in that area, if it doesn't go straight to him, is going to go past him. This outfield is lightning.
And the thing is, as the third man walks up and the batter looking to hit the ball on the leg side, the thick edge can fly down to the third man area.
Oh, this one's spanked, but there is a sweeper on the fence. Good bowling here by Venter, realizing what the plan is and just going wider and fuller, forcing Haasbroek to change his plans.
It's a very smart idea here. But now, gonna see the challenge that Don Radebe had to deal with the left-right combination. How is Venter going to work it out? His lines were excellent against the right hand. It could turn out to be a wide down the leg, but he'll probably readjust.
Great adjustment there. Lovely stroke. They will double up on this one. Molefe backing up the fielder there, trying to put some pressure on the batters. But with the big side of the fence, that was always two.
All day, every day, and if they can't get the boundary, if them trying to go onto the leg side doesn't come, they know that they're going to find runs onto the offside if they keep running those twos, at times turning into threes. But we end over number 11. They're setting up still very well. Good for that 200 out of the Northern Cape Heats. It's 105 for 2.
Going at 9.5 to the over. And the casualties thus far has been Teteko, that went for 5 of 6 deliveries, and the Ronan Herman that was caught by a Masondo, bowled by Jesse Albani for 28 of 19, which included a beautiful 6.
Was looking really good was Ronan Herman, but what was also looking good is this partnership between Kokamura and Haasbroek. It has gone over 50. It's 54 runs now that is on the board for them.
Reverse sweep coming out, the first one we've seen. Not connecting, able to get the one. Like I said, partnership past 50 now. As Ludwig coming to the attack.
Both teams on their 30s, so both players on their 30s, so that confidence now is going to start to show in the way that they attack the ball as well. Seeing that reverse sweep coming out from Rowan Haasbroek, who's on 31. Tiaan Kokamur has been looking solid.
Giving himself some room, trying to go over extra cover, just opening up the face too much. And that sweeper can just come across and cuts it off.
Purposely looking to go over the offside, which is much bigger. Ball is spinning away from him, so that is a much easier angle for him to work with. Is Tiaan Kokamur.
Oh, bit of a fake out there, looking to the leg side and then trying to play the reverse sweep. Is Rowan Haasbroek?
He must be a bit careful, Rowan Haasbroek, because for both times it just hasn't connected. All it needs to happen is for it to be a little bit straighter, get some extra bounce for an edge, and he is in real hot waters. So he must be careful.
This time round, standing his ground and just thumping it to the leg side. And what fantastic fielding. Saving a couple of runs there for the Limpopo Impalas. Great stuff. Great fielding, great effort.
And a much better shot as well from Haasbroek, just standing and smashing that ball on its merits and on its line.
Again picking out that fielder at deep square. I think they've worked out that the cheeky shot isn't coming off, so let's start forcing it a bit. But again, good bowling, spin making a difference. Finished the over off well, only 5 runs coming from it. They're going at 9.3 and over. So good over in context. Going across. Oh, fantastic fielding, Molefe, you beauty. Great awareness, great fielding. What a catch.
He knew exactly what he was doing. The ball was flying from Tiaan Kokamur's bat. However, it just lacked that elevation to take it over the top, despite the high fouls. But it is the awareness from Molefe here which is the most impressive thing, because so easily he could step over the boundary. He's like, not today. It's as if he was playing volleyball, volleying the ball back to himself to complete the catch. Tiaan Kokemoer should not be disparaged by his innings. 36 runs from 25 deliveries, really pushing the score forward. It's now 110 for 3.
Lovely catch. That is exactly what you want. And Molefe take a bow. And that's something that you need in the beginning of a week like this as well, just to lift the spirit and say, guys, listen up. Doesn't matter how well the batting team's going. Things like this could just swing it into our favor.
Just like that, because it was a really good connection from Tiaan Kokemoer. The bowler will say, yeah, I did that on purpose because I have a fielder stationed there, but you'll feel Kokemoer that he could have done a little bit better with that delivery, could have taken it over the top. But that doesn't take away from the fact that the wicket has been taken from Ludwig Keisner, and the fact that it was a good catch from Molefe. It's 110. 3 wickets gone.
Phenomenal catch. Just look at that again. Just the awareness, bumping it up in the air while he's in the air and crossing ropes and just completing the catch. Oh, so nonchalant. Just jogging into his teammates and saying, we do this every week, lads.
He made that look easier than what it is.
Oh,
he
12
made that
over, yeah.
look way too easy.
12 overs gone, 110 for the loss of 3 wickets now. And, oh, my word, that could just swing it in your favor.
The main man now to get is Hasbrook. So they bring back Albany. He's already gotten 1 wicket. Question is, can he get another one for the Impalas?
Getting that ball just to jag back at Kokemoer. Just off the seam, coming in.
Haven't seen much of that movement of the ball in this match in particular. Hardly any swing, hardly any assistance. So this is good start here from JC Albany. Will want to use it to his advantage. Let's see how he goes about it.
Oh, going across once again is Hasbrook accessing that backward square, and just a flick of the wrist and it's another 4-5.
As easy as you like from Ruan Hasbrook as he moves himself up to 38 runs. Like we said, Northern Heats, somehow they always just get that boundary in the over regardless of what the situation is. And here Albany coming back, that's his situation to come get a wicket, and he gets taken for a boundary as well.
I'd like to know what the conversation was between Hasbrook and Chibi as he came into the crease. Again going across, way across. That was hitting way outside off stump. Bowler just asking. Well, he moved across, sir. Doesn't the stumps then move with him?
Let's see. It seems like the stump stayed right in place. Big shuffle across from Hasbrook. If there was another set of stumps, maybe it would still be impact outside the off stump.
Well, you know it's not close when fine leg is in appealing. This time standing his ground, getting a bottom edge, and a bit unlucky for the bowler this time round. Hasbrook will take it. It's another 4 in the over.
A slight bottom edge. Delivio Richard trying his best to try and stop that one. It was a little bit too far off the diminutive wicketkeeper's reach. A little bit too far off his reach. And it runs for 4. They all count at the end of the day. Hasbrook is in his 40s on 42.
Oh, this time round chopping it on. It's that one that jags back once again. And a bit of revenge by Albany. Another edge found, in this time cluttering into the stumps.
And that is the wicket that they needed. Hasbrook was going with it. He was going with the flow. Albany with that slight movement coming towards the right-hander, just enough to create mistiming for Ruan Hasbrook, and he chops it back into his stumps. The man bowler, the main strike bowler who was brought back to get a wicket has indeed struck and gets Rowan Hasbrook on 42 from 26.
This means now that the Northern Cape Heat's got 2 brand new batters at the crease. TB has been there for 5 balls, but on the non-striker end, he's been watching the carnage from Hasbrook on the other end. You can see Hasbrook just flicking his bat. He knows he's given it away.
He really could have taken his team deep there, Hasbrook. But it's no more as he leaves that mantle to the newcomer of Northern Cape Heat. He's formerly from the Lions, growing up from the academy and into the Lions setup. Now moving to Northern Cape. Coming in at number 6 is Cole Abrahams.
And this is exactly what the Limpopo Impalas would have wanted, because now new batters means there's going to be a couple of more dot balls, hopefully. Bowlers can almost settle into a line. So brand new batters, almost like they're starting up an innings again. And Albania's got 1 ball left in this over. And as a captain, you've got to feel tempted. Oh, do I give him another one? Do we need one more here? Oh, and he nearly chopped it on, picking the gap, going to that sweeper fence. And again, I mentioned it earlier, the intention from the Northern Cape Heat is the first delivery every batter has faced has gone to get off the mark. And that brings the end of the 13th over. 119 for the loss of 4 wickets. And a successful over, expensive but successful over for Albania.
Feels a little bit premature to complete him now. He has 1 more over left, but if you look at the other bowlers still there, Van der Merwe, he's been going at 13 runs to the over. He has 2 more to go. Radebe, he's been going for 12 runs to the over. He too still has 2 more to go. So now it's the decision of, do I bowl out my main bowler and get a wicket with him, or do I just remove the other overs and keep him 1 more time for the death and try and bring it back if those other bowlers go for runs?
I think your analysis is spot on there as we see a single from Abrams. I think what they'll do is maybe swap around with the spinners a bit and see if they can't rush 1 or 2 overs past the Limpopo Impalas. See if they can't force 1 or 2 overs to go for just the singles here and there. Bring that run rate maybe down to an 8 runs to the over, 8.5, and hopefully then bring back their strike bowlers, as you mentioned, to pick up wickets at the back end.
It's going to require the bowling from now to do exactly what Ludwig is doing. Contain, pile on the pressure. He's only gone for 6, now 7 runs in his 9 deliveries. Has also taken a wicket. So like you said, use those spin bowlers to just rush the overs through. Make the batters unaware of how high they need to start scoring to get to a respectable total.
I can just see him every now and again just dropping in that dot. It's exactly what you need. Just look at that scorecard. Looks like a computer programmer would be proud. 1-0, 1-0.
Bowls like a computer program. Very controlled and consistent.
Oh, going for the big one. Is it down the throat? Oh, he misjudged it completely. And it's gone for 4 to have insult to injury. That would have been really bad news for the Northern Cape Heat, and he got away with it. You can just see the fielder not even looking up at the bowler. He knows it's going to be a terrible fine session for him tonight.
Definitely gave that one away. He had all the time in the world to set himself, up. I was convinced that that was going to be a wicket. I'm sure everyone who was watching was convinced that was going to be a wicket. He is very disappointed in himself. Normally, when a player is blinded by the sun, you see clear signs that, okay, I can't see the ball. That was just a little bit misjudgment. It's 125 for 4. Just that chance again, stepping in a little bit inwards, too much. And that will see the return of Ken Borland. And as he comes into commentary here, Ken Boland is also met up with a bowling change in Don Radebe, who comes in. Radebe has had a little bit of a tough time here. 2 overs, 24 runs, struggling to find a level of consistency, struggling to find a good rhythm for himself.
Which is a bit strange because he was the best bowler in the provincial competition earlier this year.
He needs to continue with that level of control, because Kabelo Tsibi and Cole Abrahams are still brand new. But as a long server of the Gauteng province, you know that Cole Abrahams can hold himself with the bat here, Ken.
Yeah, well, Northern Cape are in danger of not making the most of what was a very good position when Tiaan Kokomu and Ruan Haasbroek were going together very well.
And this is what Haasbroek and Kokomu were doing well. They were controlling the strike, rotating it. They never felt like there was a point where the Heat were not scoring runs. At times it seemed a little bit too easy, if you may say, between Kokomu and Haasbroek.
Well, they certainly had the bowlers under pressure. And just a pity for Northern Cape that they both got out in quick succession. That's a glorious stroke, though, by Cole Abrahams. Beautifully struck through the covers for 4.
That's what Cole Abrahams can do. He's a really good batter, looking to establish himself in Division 2 of the Northern Cape. Long man, long levers, ball was very wide, allowing him to fully extend those arms and use his power through that shot. Really good strike. It's 130 for 4. Again, those hands doing the work, so much so that they're able to play it across to the leg side just for a single.
Well, those last 2 deliveries just showing the danger of giving batsmen too much width. Able to free the arms, either to hit through the covers, as Abrahams did the previous ball, or to even drag it leg side towards the short boundary, as he did with that last delivery.
It's a little bit of a better length. I feel like the last 2 deliveries are a bit too full. They go for 2 runs, daring running between Abrahams and Tsibi, but it works. It works really well. Molefe couldn't bring it back on time to end over number 15. It's 132 for 4.
So, last 5 overs of the innings, and Northern Cape will no doubt be looking for 50 runs, say, in these last 5 overs. It will take them to 183. It will be a good score. But they are 4 wickets down. So you also fancy that these 2 batsmen need to get a partnership going as well. So they need to score quickly and not lose their wickets, which is a bit of an ask.
It's what the top guys get paid the top dollar to do. Here's Gauteng Molefe. He returns. He's on 2 from 16 and now 2 from 22. With a glorious stroke from Cole Abrahams, just a little shimmy towards his leg stump, opens up that short offside and is driven it over the top for 6.
Beautifully played. I mean, he didn't overhit it. It was just timing. Wonderful shot over extra cover. Ooh.
Going down to the leg side, clipping the legs of Cole Abrahams. Looking for that sweep shot, but there is a man standing at deep backward square, man standing at short fine leg, and deep mid wicket. There's also a man standing at backward point, stopping that from going and accessing that boundary. Remember, we'll just elaborate again that on that offside, it's a very short boundary. If you skip past the inner ring, you're most likely getting yourself 4 runs.
There's now an extra cover, deep extra cover on the boundary. I think Abrahams could probably still go over him. He hits it so well.
He even dared to try and do it again. And the thing is, if that if that deep extra cover was there, it would have been a catch because the ball didn't have that much great elevation from Cole Abrahams' shot. So it's a good adjustment. Though reactive, they had tried to plan for it earlier on by putting him at deep cover, but they just needed him a little bit more squarer. Oh, big appeal. He stepped across, but not much reaction from the umpire.
Well, struck outside the line of stump, probably.
Big shimmy across from Klebi. Now shimmy down, and exactly where they moved the player, that's where the ball goes. But I think it had more elevation than the man who would have stood there. And to close off, number 16, it's 6 runs from Kabelo Klebi.
Well, for Abrahams, they had the deep extra cover, but then when Klebi came on strike, they moved him more to a square cover. And what did the batsman do? Of course, he hit it right where the fielder was before, and that probably would have been a catch. But good shot by Klebi. 146 for 4 overs left.
What's good here is that they are taking the game on. Both Kabelo Klebi and Abrahams is getting to a point where it's all now about to get loose. 4 runs, 4 wickets, 4 overs to go. Daniel van der Merwe is also loose. Really terrible delivery, and it gets the punishment it deserves. 4 runs from the bats of Abrahams.
Well, if he had left it, it would have been a wide, but Abrahams, his decision-making pays off. He gets a boundary, goes to 22. The 150 up for the Northern Cape Eat of 104 balls, 15 fours and 5 sixes. As we just see that replay, just scurried off square of the third man boundary.
It's a free hit after that no ball. Thick outside edge. Talk about maximizing a free hit on a good delivery. Nothing wrong there from Daniel van der Merwe, except for the fact that his previous delivery led this to being a free hit. It's 4 runs for Cole Abrahams, and already he's gone for 9 in 2 balls.
And poor old third man now has to run all the way to his left to retrieve that ball, which he can't find at the moment. It's got stuck behind the boundary fence somewhere under the covers.
What a big shot of validation it will be for Cole Abrahams coming into a new setup, a new time, new team, new game. And then he scores a half century right at the bottom of the batting list, coming in at number 6. When his team had just been slowing down a little bit after losing the wickets of Kokemoor and Haasbroek.
Well, he's providing vital impetus, 26 off 13 balls. I don't know too much about him. I know he played a bit for in Mpumalanga a few years ago. What do you know about him? He's been in the Lions system apparently.
He's been in the Lions system, played for Dalforce in terms of club cricket. He was highly sorted as he was coming up and up and up, which is why he got a taste of some Lions cricket. But seeing that he needs to just get himself into a much more established name, here he is now playing in the Northern Cape Heat.
Lions, of course, are a tough side to break into. Plenty of talent in that side.
Going for a big swing down to the leg side. It's a good stop in the deep. They come back for number 2 because it was a slight fumble. They move on to 158. And you know, we've seen this move happen before. No one was a bigger beneficiary of it than Rivaldo Munsami, playing for the Titans. Then he went to the Northern Cape Heat. He's scored piles of runs, becoming Division 2 player of the tournament. This one is going up into the air. Van der Merwe might have struck here, and Van der Merwe has indeed struck. Cole Abrahams was looking to go big, up the scoring rates for his team, but the Northern Cape Heat lose yet another wicket. They are halfway down their batting order. Cole Abrahams is caught for 28 from 15 deliveries.
Caught by Sizwe Masondo in the covers there, just slicing across a good ball, a full wide Yorker length delivery from Daniel van der Merwe. And Abrahams did his job though, 28 or 15 balls at this stage of the innings, some valuable impetus for the Northern Cape Heat.
100%. There's 2 more games for the team to play throughout the course of the week. It's a chance for all of these players to stamp their mark in the beginning of the season. Funny enough, we actually saw last season Jean du Plessis, who's now moved on to Division 1, played for SWD. He got a short 1-match loan, first-class cricket, to go play for Boland, or G-Bet Rocks is what we call them. Went to play for Boland. He scored 100 in that game, and then he went back to SWD, and now we see him play Division 1 cricket. So whoever wins this game whoever wins this short tournament will play the Titans at the end of the week, and they too can have a chance to get something like that if they really show that they are worthy.
Yeah, we have seen Titans head coach Mandla Mashimbi walking around, no doubt keeping an eye on the players in action, and yeah, you never know who you might impress with a good performance.
And that's Cole Abrahams' wicket. Once again, he was looking to impress on his first game for his new side. He played well, like you had alluded to, Ken. And that's exactly what his team needed at the time. Go for it. You'd rather that than him just trying to play cuties and losing his wicket then. See, even here, the new batter who's coming in, Hartis Viljoen, who knows these Titans conditions like the back of his hand, having played for both Easterns and the Lions, and then playing for the Titans as well.
Dangerous hitter, Hartis Viljoen. Here in the lower order. Daniel van der Merwe is really pushing umpire Yuri Sadler to the absolute limit with these wide balls. We saw early in the over, Sadler really thought long and hard and then gave a wide.
Opening up the face of the bat, there is Hartis Viljoen. It just hits gently to the man standing at deep cover.
Viljoen will keep the strike then for the 18th over. It's 161 for 5. Northern Cape looking for a big finish to this innings, having won the toss and elected to bat first. And there you can see the scorecard. A good top order display. Ronan Hadaman 28 of 19. Tian Kukumur 36 of 25. Ruan Haasbroek 42 of 27. Kukumur and Haasbroek got out in quick succession, and it was an important contribution of 28 or 15 balls by Cole Abrahams that has just kept the momentum going a bit for the Northern Cape, as Ludwig Keisner, the spinner, is going to continue from the Henops River end.
Must say, it hasn't felt like an innings that is going at nearly 10 runs to the over. It's felt much more relaxed than that. And now it's time to up the impetus. Hartis Viljoen getting a huge outside edge. And that is a dolly of a catch to put down. Those are regulation catches you should be taking any day of the week.
Oh, is that Jesse Albani? He had it and it bounced out.
It was just under. Boweni with absolute slam dunk opportunity to grab that catch. Hartis Viljoen is an incredible hitter of the ball once he gets going.
Keep up!
Was looking to go big again. Confusion in the running. But he's called back and he makes it home safely.
Yeah, Hartis Viljoen won't really be able to resist trying to take on the spinner straight down the ground. That's how he operates. But, very disappointing for, well, Keisner, especially the bowler.
It looks even worse when you watch it in slow motion, Ken. That he had a second chance actually after it popped up. That was his chance to actually grab the catch then. It just looked so defeated afterwards. Could have been 163 for 6. Does he have a second chance? He has a second chance! Redemption song! Play it on the PA system. Moeni able to pay it back with the catch. That's a slightly harder in difficulty. And it's the 6th wicket gone for the Northern Cape Heat.
It was an awkward one because it came off the edge. It was definitely swirling and spinning in the air. And his heart would have been in his mouth as it came towards him, and he had to reach a bit to his right.
It's not too often that you get a second chance so quickly, straight after you've missed one.
Well done, that man.
Oh man, take a little bit of a breather, relieve some of the tension from your shoulders after that drop. And you saw his teammate just coming in and giving him a pat on the back, saying, "Yes, Ntwana, well done, congratulations."
Well, it's Kabelo Qibi, he's out for 11. Viljoen dropped earlier in the over by Moeni. And we're going to see Romano to Blanche come to the wicket now.
And still, Hardus Viljoen can be a very dangerous customer because, as we saw in his first class performances last season, his batting really came up to the fore. He really batted well in the first class season last year. That didn't translate to his T20s. He had a couple of good games in his 20s, but he can hold the bat. Gorgeous shot that from to Blanche. Not enough distance in his connection. It's just a single as he gets off the mark to end over number 18.
It's another very good over by Ludwig Kaesner, culminating in that wicket you see again. Just 4 runs off the bat in that over. And 165 for 6. 2 overs remaining for the Northern Cape. Can they get it up to 185? That'll be competitive, surely.
It would be a very strong score. Quite a strong score. But we don't know how the pitch is playing as it continues to change in its nature. In the morning it played differently than what it's playing now. It looks to have quickened up just a little bit as the day goes through. Easier to score.
Yeah, you would expect to dry up a bit, quicken up with the sun shining on it all day. Don't think it's changed a huge amount though. Yeah, scoring probably a little bit easier.
And that is to say that even the bowling, as the day continues, the team have been here since the morning. They've been watching the other first game that played, so they would have had a general idea of how everything is going to work, what game plans they need to put in place. At the end of the day, Limpopo Impalas have taken 6 wickets. They can't be too mad at that. It's a good return. It's just that the scoring rates, especially during that partnership of Kokomora and Hasbrook, really hurt them a little bit. Because every now and then, Ken, they'll just have that one ball in the over that is capable of being hit for a boundary.
Nature of the game, I guess. It's a pretty unforgiving format for the bowlers.
Wild swing. The ball was on that 5th stump, targeting that shorter boundary, but finding a fielder.
I think Limpopo will be reasonably content with how they've gone. Obviously they'll want a good finish in these last couple of overs, but they have taken wickets, which has been important because it's stopped any particular Northern Cape batter from really dominating and taking the game away from them.
Goes across the stumps. Of course the bowler's not going to be happy over that decision because he feels like the batter to Blanche walked across but adjudicated wide.
Yeah, it's outside the leg stump, so the umpires are always very strict on that side. He's got boundary riders at long on, cow corner, deep square leg, and long off.
This time he follows his batter well, does Albany. He's about to complete his spell of overs, gotten those 2 wickets, he'll be happy with his return. He'll just want to end up on a very strong note for both himself and his team.
He's done well, Jesse Albany. He had 1 over where he took a bit of tap and looked as if things could unravel, but he's come back strongly.
He really has come back strongly indeed. And it's a really smart ploy with the batters looking to open up that offside by them just stepping down the leg side. And it's just attacking their legs constantly, forcing them to play down to the man who's standing at fine leg and restrict them from any more runs, which is doing really well.
Yeah, coming around the wicket as well. So everything's angling towards the long boundary. And it's a very long boundary indeed. It's on the offside now for Hardisviljoen. Are they going to bolster the leg side? No, same field.
Big swing from Hardisviljoen, but it's targeted precisely to the man who's standing at deep extra cover for a single. They reach 170. That 185 will look probably good if they are able to get to it. It will need a strong finish.
It's a very good over so far by Jesse Albany. Just singles off it. There was a wide, there was a leg by as well, but no boundaries, and that's very important at this stage.
It'll be interesting to see who'll bowl the final over. He ends his over here, does Jesse Albany. Ball is just hit over to the man standing at square leg. He finishes off with a single and closes off his spell of bowling. A very respectable one from Jesse Albany, going at 8 runs to the over. And for his tap, he gets 2 wickets in return. 2 for 32 with 1 more over to go.
I fancy it could be Morne Fento who will bowl the last over. He's still got an over in hand, is it? It looks like Don Khadebe maybe lining up to bowl. He hasn't been the best of days for him. 32 runs off his 3 overs. He's wicketless, but he was outstanding in the T20 competition last season for Limpopo. Their leading wicket taker, 20 wickets in 8 matches, and went for just 6.54 runs per over. So he's their go-to man.
Starts off with good areas here. I'm looking for a big swing. It's just a single. They take Radebe. Ludwig Keisner also bowled well, but it's a big risk bowling spin in the last over of the game, especially if your last 2 penultimate overs prior to that were good as that one. So,
well, especially with one very short boundary and there's a left and right hand pair at the crease, so it would be a very big risk.
Radebe, there's also Molefe, Van der Merwe, and Venter all had 1 overs to spare. But that's why Radebe is bowling this over, superbly aimed at the feet of Hardisviljoen, and a great take from Delivio Richard.
Yeah, Khadebe started this final over really well. Fantastic Yorker.
You'll want to continue in that vein. He started well. Continues bowling really well. He's going to clean up his own job. Is he going to keep it to 1? With good effort, he does keep it to 1.
Great effort. Scampering all the way almost to the edge of the circle there, Don Khadebe. But again, zeroing on the legs of Hardisviljoen. Very full.
Now the smart idea would try and to bowl those off-stump Yorkers here. They're hard in general to get away, and anything that drops to the leg side invites that short boundary on the legs of Tablanche. 2 straight. That is the punishment you are going to receive. A thunderous crack of the bat from Tablanche, and it's all over the banks for 6.
Biggest hit of the day. That went 3/4 of the way up the bank towards the chalets next to the cow train. Wonderful strike by Romano Tablanche.
from what was a good over. It's just skewered a little bit, overpitched, and just a touch straighter than what he wanted. That's what he wanted. Much better. He returns, and he will want to finish in that vein. Blanche just got easy meat with that. He's on 10 runs. 179 for 6 with one more ball in the innings to go. Don Khadebe has gone only for 8 runs in this over. And drifts down to the leg side, but that slower ball is dropped again. Could it be the same player? Indeed it is. That is going to be a little blow on the confidence. Little blow for Don Khadebe as well.
Shame Don Khadebe hasn't had his best day, and he's bowled a pretty decent final over. Would have liked to have had a wicket to show for his efforts, but Mboweni, you could just see he was lacking confidence coming forward for that catch straight to him at a deep backward square leg, but out it popped. And well, that's at the Northern Cape. Innings has ended on 180 for 6. It's a decent score, I think. Certainly not insurmountable. And there's the scorecard. The highlight really was that partnership between Tiaan Kokomoor and Ruan Haasbroek. Kokomoor 36 of 25, Haasbroek 42 of 27. Good 28s from Ronan Hanneman and Cole Abrahams. And at the end, Hardest-Viljoen 7 not out. Romano Blanche 11 not out with one of the shots of the day.
And with the bowling, even distribution of the wickets, Don Khadebe will feel like he should have gotten one right at the end. Molefe going for a little bit of a tapping, but good control from Mone Venter. Jesse Albani taking those 2 wickets. Ludwig Keisner bowling brilliantly, just not touching that final over. 180 for 6. The previous game we saw a score going up to 185. So it seems like it's a score that could be par given how the innings had been played out. The first game, it was Sekukune who took the load, and here we see a much more finer distribution of the load between the batters. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Limpopo Impalas are going to take this on. We will return in a couple of minutes here on Pitch Vision for this Momentum Health Challenge between the Division 2 teams to see who will play the Titans on Friday.
lo bolela le
Well done. You happy, Kobe?
re mara ko pele
What do you want, chap? Up.
a lo no fitlo la polo ko
This is too much. I got more respect them.
ene wa itirela pisi
I got a root read to Mutomo. I pick on pickies. All in a little ball one. Hey.
ene ya no ko tlo go wa bona ta ya lo ke manga a bolela go ta bona no ko tlo ni ni sa tuma
I believe me, young Mutter. I wanna bolela le wo. Wanna come for 3 times in Solomon. Oh, sorry to say.
Flat.
o mozamika tsia
Offside, tap.
Go going. Claro, essa posição. Você sabe, os anos eles amam a dizer. Essa não é.
anche come velo una player che tendera stalle va ora va che mi tan vela cioè yare
Uraro, o William Bell. Sinangasa. Aku baru pi.
hai fa dalla ko temoro wa mo sa di ko ko
Baru pi lo sih.
anything hai fa na ko tama jika mara ki no
Ola on square. Kom eraf. Ja.
Welcome back to Supersport Park as the Northern Cape Heat is taking on the Limpopo Impalas. And the Northern Cape Heat scored a very brisk 180 of 120 deliveries in their 20 overs, but it didn't feel like it. Wasn't a normal 180. It is a huge field. It's a very crafty 180 and a very skilled 180 scored after winning the toss, electing to bat. This will be a target that will be very challenging for the Limpopo Impalas.
I think it's a gettable score though. It's going to depend on how well the Northern Cape Heat bowl. I think they'll feel that maybe they left a few runs out there, just lost wickets at inopportune times, and in particular if one of Ruan Haasbroek or Tiaan Kokemoer could have gone deep in that innings, then I'm pretty sure they would have reached the 200 mark. But as it is, we're set up for a very exciting last innings on this opening day of the Momentum Health Challenge.
The voice of Ken Borland there, our statistician extraordinaire. Anything you want to know about cricket, he's your man. And just looking at the strike rates, there's just two players, Diteko and Hardus Loon, did not strike over 100. And that's the reason why they got to that 181. As they start off with a bit of spin.
Yeah, Tsepo and Tuli, who had a very good provincial T20 Cup, as Northern Cape made the final last season, losing to this self-same Limpopo Impalas team.
Worked around the corner there, getting off the mark, getting the Impalas up and running is the spinner.
Yeah, and Tuli took 11 wickets in 7 matches in that competition. His economy was really good, 6.63, so he did both jobs for them, taking wickets and keeping things tight.
Get him! Yeah!
Oh, and very nearly picked up a wicket there. Extremely well timed. Lovely shot by Masondo. And you'll just have to check the replay. That looked very, very close. Did that carry? Was that the first opportunity for the Northern Cape Heat? This time round, safely on the ground for that single. Here we see the replay of that one.
Ruan Haasbroek, I think, at mid-wicket.
That looked like it carried, Ken.
Well, the wicketkeeper certainly thought
two,
so.
fellas.
He would have had pretty much the best view on the field, Madiwi Diteko.
Oh, another
That's
one
you,
just
Rona. That's
flicked
you, Rona.
around the corner.
Oh no.
Coming back for the second. A lot of pressure on the fielder. He's going to have the sun in his eyes now, coming from the west. This over has gone very quickly. Only one delivery left in the very first over. Oh, following the batter who tried to give himself a bit of room to exploit that short boundary option on the offside. Throwing the ball around a bit there. Lovely pick up there by the keeper, Diteko. And that's the end of the over. It is 6 without loss. As we just have a quick run through the scorecard there from Northern Cape Heat. Ruan Haasbroek 42 of 27. Kokemoer, the left-hander, 36 of 25. Cole Abrahams 28 of 15. And Ronan Herman, the opener, 28 of 19. With Ludwig Geisner also opening the batting for Limpopo Impalas. 2 for 15 in his 3 overs. Jesse Albani went for 32, but it had an expensive start and then pulled it back nicely. As we see the big man, Hardus Loon, taking the new ball.
Yeah, the vastly experienced fast bowler has freshly joined the Northern Cape outfit. Will bring a lot of much needed experience to the team. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it's not Hardesviljoen. That one is back of a length and a lovely shot. Masondo says, welcome to the crease, left armour. It is Van der Ensberg giving the new ball duties here. Going for the right-left combination. First ball loosener. A lovely timed shot through point.
Yeah, Benjamin van Rensburg just dropping a bit short there. Says with Masondo, he's strong off the back foot.
Oh, this one not getting up as much as he would have anticipated. You can see him just showing that. Maybe going underneath it a tad more. Nice carry there from Van der Ensberg.
I think the ball is carrying a little bit better now in the afternoon. The pitch has probably quickened up a little bit with the nice sunshine it's had on it all day.
Oh, there's a bit of movement into the right-hander. Something that we didn't see in the early games. There was definite movement into the right-hander. You can see Masondo just walking away, gathering his thoughts. Might just be a bit of chatter amongst the players out there, especially because they're that old rivals from the final last year.
Sizwe Masondo is a very experienced campaigner. Was in the Gauteng Lions system for quite a long while, played for Easterns as well.
Oh, another good one. Just not getting the pull shot away. You can see him looking around, definitely a bit of chatter. Maybe just explaining to him that the ball is round and white.
He's just skidding it on a bit, Benjamin van Rensburg. I said Masondo strong off the back foot, so he favours scoring off the back foot, but he's probably trying to pull deliveries that are a little bit too full for that. Skidding onto him.
Just rushing him. Again, lovely in movement towards the right hander, and again it's something we haven't seen all day, and it's very strange that it started off very late in the day, but a lateral movement. You can just see lovely closed off action, that ball just nipping back into the right hander.
Well, Van Rensburg obviously just a bit of a natural swinger of the ball.
He's got a bit of a Brett Schultz to him, doesn't he? Lovely high front arm, dropping it down on the leg side just for the single. That's the end of the over. That's the 2 gone in the power play. A very quiet start at the moment. It's 11 without loss. Going at 5.5. They need to go at 9.4. As of yet, not a big concern is the runs required. Still a lot of time in this match. Don't want to lose early wickets, but also don't want to leave it for too late.
Yeah, I fancy Limpopo Impalas will be trying to get to 50 odd in the power play.
We actually see the big man coming into the attack now. We're so used to him taking the new ball that we got carried away in the previous one. It does look now like it's Hardesviljoen, the big frame of Hardes. Coming in from the Hennep's River end.
I don't think so.
Such a wealth of experience having Hardes in your team. I think the youngsters will benefit so much from him. The captain, just ask him where he wants his field, because there's so much to learn from a bowler like this, and he'll definitely extract a little bit more from this deck than the other bowlers because he bowls such a heavy ball.
Indeed. And of course Northern Cape lost their main strike bowler in the off season in Johan van Dijk. So Hardesviljoen looking to fill that gap.
Van Dijk had a fantastic outing the last couple of T20s.
He's played for SA and that, and I'm actually very glad to see him playing Division 1 cricket this year. He's joined the Free State Knights as a quick bowler. I definitely think he's got something he's an exciting prospect.
Oh, just on the walk, trying to force that out of nothing. Very hard bowler to hit on the up, because Hardes does get a little bit extra oomph off the deck. You just see Ludwig just completely losing shape in the walk, trying to hit him. At back foot just slipping away.
Yeah, he was on the move, trying to play that, and the telltale side of the back foot, stepping away onto the leg side.
Now this one is past the outside edge once again. It's very intimidating. Big mountain of a man running at you in Hardes Viljoen. Those of you who haven't seen him, he's a bit of a unit.
Very big, very strong, but he's settled into a really good line here, just testing Kaisner outside that off stump.
Great initiative by the Titans. Momentum Health series. Oh, Beal out inside edge. And Hardes Viljoen has struck with the first wicket for the Limpopo Impalas.
Yeah, forcing the batsman to try something different there. Kaisler beaten outside the off stump a couple of times. Nothing changed about the delivery. It was still outside the off stump. But Kaisler swishing across the line to try and get it away on the onside, and gets a little bottom edge.
The only thing that changed there is probably 1 centimeter closer to him. That's why I felt he can actually play that shot. And that is the very first wicket down for the Limpopo Impalas. Hardes Viljoen strikes without conceding a run, picking up the first wicket.
Yeah, excellent start by Hardes Viljoen as Lawrence Steenekamp now comes to the crease for the Limpopo Impalas.
But so far, fantastic display of bowling by the Northern Cape Heat, with Ntuli going for 6 in his first over. Benjamin van Rensburg only going for 5 in his over. And then Hardes Viljoen only conceding the 1 run thus far. So it is 12th for the loss of 1 wicket. Busy with the 3rd over. Steenekamp facing up. Hardes Viljoen. Oh, immediately just that back of a length. If you just compare that to any of the bowlers we've seen today, that ball just rocketed up.
Yeah, Hardes Viljoen. He's certainly a veteran, but he can still get life out of most pitches. There's still a lot of fire to his bowling, a lot of gas. Not bad at the age of 35.
Oh, another swing and a miss. It's almost like they're just not picking up the pace of the deck. End of the Hardes Viljoen over, conceding the 1 run and picking up the wicket. It is 13, lucky number 13 for 1.
Outstanding first over by Hardes Viljoen, and that has certainly now put Limpopo under a bit of pressure in this power play. Halfway through, they've only got 13 on the board, 1 wicket down already, and I fancy Northern Cape will want to keep the pressure on here. Benjamin van Rensburg's going to get another over. He bowled a very good first over as well, and with a lot of movement back into the right-hander, cramping up Sizwe Masondo, and he'll want to do the same now in this over to Lawrence Steenekamp. Steenekamp's experienced campaigner, 27 years old.
You can see him just angling it back into the right-hander. But this is what will bridge that gap between Division 1 and 2. If you have guys like Hardes Viljoen playing in this Division 2, it will just set them up for bowlers for Division 1. They got fantastic bowlers in Division 2, don't get me wrong, but I mean the experience that Hardes brings. I mean, he brings international experience to this setup.
Have to be quick.
Oh, shy. That was nearly the very third time we've seen overthrows. Hardest cleaning it up there. Very streaky run. As we see, was that close? Nah, he was safe. He would have been all right. Still had to stretch the legs though. Oh, lovely lines. I'll tell you what, the way that the batters are playing from the Rensburg, it's almost like he's surprising them with the pace that the ball's coming at them.
Yeah, he's a bit skiddy, and that movement back into them is a little bit late. So he's a bit awkward to handle at the moment, and he's found a very good length. That's the other key factor.
The drop and goes are easy for them, but once they try and play the forceful shots, almost like they're stabbing at the ball and it's almost rushing them. But another tidy over thus far. 2 balls to go in his second over, only conceding the 2 runs. And this is all part still of the power play. And this will be the concerning factor for the Limpopo Impalas. We saw as the ball gets a bit softer, it gets more difficult to hit. You can work it easier for the 1s and 2s with the vast amount of grass on this pitch. There we go. Hardest just clutching those big hands around the ball.
Oh, that was very agile by Hardest Viljoen.
At a very young age of 35. Still a youngster.
Steenkamp will be a bit upset there. Van Rensburg just over pitching fractionally on that delivery, but Steenkamp wasn't able to get it past the fielder.
Oh, this time round, just opening up that front leg and decided, listen, I'm going to premeditate one. And he banged it straight over his head. 4 runs, and he did it the last ball of the over as well. Just look at that front leg opening up.
This is a superb shot by Steenkamp. As you say, opening up, allowing his arms to swing through the line. Beautifully straight lines and straight back past the bowler. And a timely boundary for Northern Cape.
19 for the loss of 1 after 4 overs. That run rate has jumped up. I said earlier they don't need to worry too much, but they've almost let it slip a tad. It's over 10 runs to the over already that they require. They're only batting at about 4.7. So they need 162 of 96 deliveries, and you've got another 3 overs of a Hardest Viljoen coming at you as well.
Yeah, they need to really push it along in these last 2 overs of the power play now. 19 or 4 overs is not really quick enough, but credit to the Northern Cape bowlers. They've been really good.
Oh, as we sing his praises, the veteran just pushing it down leg side for a while. I think he was going for that ball that straightens up on the right-hander that he normally bowls. But as we saw, very little lateral movement. It's basically just Van Rensburg that's getting the ball to swing. Hardest Viljoen at the top of his mark. Coming into Masondo. Oh, thudding into that midriff area.
Steep bounce from quite a good length there by Hardest Viljoen. As you said, he's got that ability just to extract a little bit more life, a little bit more venom out of the pitch than most other bowlers.
Credit to Masondo. Not showing any pain, but that would have stung. That would leave a mark. Oh, popped it up. Is it? Oh, did it carry? Fantastic effort, just not carrying to that short, fine leg that's in the circle. Thudded into the gloves, and Hardest Viljoen completely rushing Masondo on that short ball. Look at that. Oh, just not carrying.
Yeah, good effort by short, fine leg, but couldn't quite make the ground. But Hardest Viljoen is certainly giving Sizwe Masondo a bit of a working over here. We're going to have the physio running on. Umpire Sipile Lagasa is going to send him off, but then the batsman Masondo realises there's a chance here for some rest. But I think they think there might have been a bit of contact with the helmet, so he's obliged to
Probably ask him, what are you seeing back there? It's one of those very, very strange things, but stranger things have happened. You've seen the world of cricket, even the world of sports. A lot of sad news. Rather safe than sorry. Hardes Viljoen to Masondo. Again, just dropping and going. This will not hurt the Northern Cape Heat at all, the dropping and going, because that run rate is just creeping up the whole time. That big gap between balls left and runs to win is just growing and growing and growing.
10.3 the rate required now. What can Lawrence Steenkamp make of Hardes Viljoen?
Again, just starting off with that leg side wide.
Lawrence Steenkamp finished the T20 competition last season with a bit of a flurry. Scores of 41, 39, 14, 33 and then 7 in the final. Solid performer across the formats for the Limpopo Impalas.
Again, finding it very hard. Direct hit. Is there any backup? No chance of a second.
Yeah,
Steenkamp just running too far past the stumps.
you can just hear that Hardes Viljoen is hitting the bat hard, and it's difficult to take too many liberties with this sort of bowling. He's bowling an excellent line. The length is so awkward because he gets that extra bounce from a good length.
Oh, it's at another inside edge. The batsman is walking. Hardes Viljoen has struck again with the 5th ball of his second over, conceding 6 runs, picking up the 2nd wicket. And again, same result, different edge.
Peach of a delivery, really. Jagging back at Sizwe Masondo.
In fairness, never looked comfortable against Hardes Viljoen. He did nearly get him with that short delivery as well. You can see that one jagging back. Previous wicket got the outside edge. This time round got the inside edge. And a lovely take by the keeper, Diteko.
Masondo goes for 12 off 17 deliveries. As you say, just the extra pace and bounce of Hardes Viljoen making life very difficult for Sizwe Masondo. And eventually getting him caught behind. 23 for 2 now, the Limpopo Impalas in the 5th over. And they're in early trouble here.
Still within the power play, 23 for 2. Now there's 7 deliveries left in the power play, but oh my word, how well is Hardes Viljoen and van Rensburg. Actually, all the bowlers have bowled very well. Even Tsepo Ntuli has only gone for 6 in his very first over. As a new batter, Heinrich Pieters has joined Lawrence Steenkamp. He'll be facing the music. He's got another delivery to attend with. It is the left-hander. Hardes Viljoen immediately changing his line to around the wicket.
Still got a slip, Hardes Viljoen. Fine leg is up. The men on the boundary are at deep square leg and 3rd man.
Oh, immediately a ball rising onto the batter. Just welcoming him to the crease as we end off that over. The Hardes Viljoen second over. 2 for 6 at the moment. The Chief Destroyer, 23 for the loss of 2 after 5.
Quite well handled by Heinrich Pieters. That's really not the sort of delivery you want to get first up. As we see Masondo getting out again.
Again, feet going nowhere. No commitment in the shot, not really trying to get behind it either. Just hanging the bat up there and just nipping in between bats and the body. Faint
Yeah.
edge, lovely take by Teko.
It was all very tentative by Masondo, but it's the balls that were before that delivery that put the doubt in his mind. It made him very uncomfortable at the crease. And Hardis Viljoen certainly working him over.
And this is now where it comes in. I'll be inclined to give Hardis Viljoen another over.
For sure. You know, you can, if you get another wicket, get them 3 down. In the first 7 overs, that's a lot of the job done for
We
Northern Cape.
See Romano Terblanche coming in. Gentle medium pacer. No big pace on the delivery here. Does bowl a lot of variations. So used to swinging the ball back into the right-hander. Very happy with the singles. They'll be more than happy just to see out the 20 if it goes all for singles. I gotta feel that the Limpopo Impalas need to take a risk here and there. See if they can't get a bowler to feel a bit of the heat, try and avert that pressure back to the bowlers, because at the moment all the bowlers have been used have been going for 6 and less to the over.
It's been a very good start with the ball by Northern Cape. Not giving Limpopo much to work with here.
Oh, this could be another one. Oh, just the big guy can't get the mitt up. It is Van Rensburg had nearly took a blinder there. Maybe gone with the wrong hand up. There's a bit of a shot of intent.
Nicely timed, certainly. But not far away from the fielder.
Got to feel that he might have wanted to stuck the other hand out, the right hand, but he does favour the lefty. Maybe just feel this is the sort of pace that they are happy with. Not hitting the deck as hard as Van Rensburg and Viljoen. Still causing a bit of trouble. 28 for 2. 2 deliveries left in the power play for the Limpopo Impalas. Cow train passing on this Monday afternoon. Clear blue skies. Oh, cricket season has started. Normally the time my wife gets a bit nervous. Oh, this one just works around the corner. Was there a little touch on it? Yes, there was. 4 runs. And that's another 4 off the bat of Heinrich Pieters. See him just working that one around the corner. Lovely wrists. Just straying on the line. Easter Blanche. Romano just trying to go a bit too straight. Especially the left-hander. Lefties notoriously good on their legs. Oh, and what a lovely shot. Just turning his back on it. He knew the moment he struck it, that's 4.
Beautiful, dead straight from Heinrich Pieters. And he's certainly added a bit of impetus to this innings. 12 now, off just 5 deliveries for the man who's on debut for Limpopo.
Exactly what we were asking for, Ken. It's just that little impetus, like you said.
Yeah, Heinrich Pieters,
Conventional wicket.
born in Johannesburg, but was playing for the Northwest University side.
Rona,
Actually played
Ronan,
for
first, super top
the
mark.
South African team, in inverted commas, who played in the
Oh,
Africa
oh.
Cup T20 tournament in Accra
The first
earlier
one.
this year.
Yeah, perfect, perfect.
It was basically an SA Universities team. that competed in that tournament. He got 62 in the first game against Ghana, the hosts.
See Tepo Ntuli coming back into the attack just to take the pace off.
Oh yeah.
Good cricket, work it in ones and twos, and that was the over that we asked for. It's just that put the pressure back on the bowlers, because now all of a sudden the captain might want to bring in one of his other bowlers quicker than he wanted to. Would you give Romano Terblanche another over? Maybe swap ends with him? Maybe bring him in a bit later? That's what you want as a batting team, is to put that doubt in the captain's mind where he's got to second guess his plan. Although he was nearly caught on that very first delivery.
Oh,
I think Captain Romano Terblanche will feel that things are well under control here for Northern Cape. Just 36 runs in the power play.
brilliant, boys.
One expensive over, sure, not too bad. They do have other spin options. Tian Kukumua can bowl a bit of off spin.
Oh, lovely fielding there of his own bowling. And Ntuli, you can just see him shaking his hand, because that was absolutely spanked back at him.
Dat for us there, Tepo.
He's going to come middle that one.
Ciao, ciao.
Very happy just to work around the corner.
Service.
Tepo Ntuli played his junior cricket for Griqualand West, which is what Northern
Perfect.
Cape used to be known as. But he was well travelled. He played a lot for Free State and the Knights. Had a stint at the Lions. Back at home now.
Doubling up on this one, a bit of a slip. Oh, if they threw at the keeper's end, it might have been interesting. Peters just slipped there on that unprepared pitch of grass there.
Weet jy nou na bang?
As you mentioned, Ntuli has got a bit of experience all over. He's travelled SA a bit.
Oh yeah, Tepo.
I'll tell you what, Peters just looks the part, doesn't he?
Serious ball, that's Tepo.
Very compact, playing the ball nice and late.
Timed it beautifully from the get-go.
Yeah, 42 with that for 2 after 7 overs, and still going at only 6, and every single over they're not making that jump. It goes up to 10.7 now is the required rate.
Yeah, because they had so few boundaries in the power play, it does mean that they're going to have to try and get a boundary and over now in these middle stages, just to make sure that rate required doesn't balloon up out of control.
As you see, another bowling change. Mutswiri coming in. He's replacing Romano Terblanche after that over that went for 13 runs. And talking about replacements, Mr. Pendulo Makubane coming in for Ken Borland.
We return. It's 42
Return
for
of the Mac.
Amen. Amen. McFeast Deluxe. That's what we're getting here today. 2 games of great foot, of great cricket. Thank you for the intro. As usual, Gert.
Oh, talk about intro. Hello. Luckily, there's some protection there on that sweeper fence, because that was spanked.
It was a really good shot. That's from Heinrich Peters, sir. Just a little bit of width given there by Emmanuel Mutswiri. He has the relevant protection that he needs. We're out of that power play. Have a deep third man, fine leg, and deep square leg.
There's some going straight over the bowler's head. That will trickle into the fence. On the up, it was also muscled over the bowler.
It was a brave shot. That just enough width for him to spread his hands. However, normally you'd see that fly through point, but enough power to just hit it over the top. They're up to now 47 for 2, and they're going to need more of these in order for them to keep within range where they can actually chase the score down. Again, Motswiri just giving it a little bit of width, and it goes down to the deep extra cover.
Very nice to come in, and you're not really under pressure with the ball at the moment. I mean, they need to score at 10 runs to the over, basically every over from here. And then lovely shot there as we see that absolute muscle just over the bowler's head. If you've got campaigners like Benjamin van der Rensburg and Ntuli and Hardus Viljoen just laying the platform for you as a bowling unit.
And he's recovered actually well here, Motswiri. For the kind of balls that he's delivered, going just for 7 is not too bad of a return, especially in his first over. Now it's a mission of just consolidating that over, getting his rhythm going for the rest of it. Not a great delivery, but at least it's got some good protection.
Yeah, the wall that is Hardus Viljoen. I can't get it past him. That was a ball you want to get away with, because it's not something that your captain will be happy with. That was a good old-fashioned long hop, and it almost like it surprised Steenkamp there.
It feels like he's fishing for where it actually should be here, Motswiri, which is understandable in his very first over. That's why I'm saying, the over could be much worse in terms of the numbers that he's given away. Here's the last one. Much straighter. Carved through. It's the shorter boundary. It's a man who's been there for 14 deliveries, right on his hip. Of course, he's going to dispatch that for 4, and it's 50 runs up for the Limpopo Impalas.
Just felt that was coming, to be honest. That was on the hip. That was easy pickings for any top order bat. And Lourens Steenkamp making no mistake and making sure he pays for it. That's also the Impalas, 50 runs on the board, 53 for the loss of 2. And getting a bit of a move on now. That run rate has gone up to 6.6, but the required rate still is right about that 10.7 mark, which is going to make it very hard at the back end of the innings when the ball's a little bit softer.
And it's at these moments where the game is won or lost. These are the moments where, when it's slowed down, you make sure you keep taking your 1s and 2s. Never get bogged down by the run rate. But now the fielding is up to standard. Fantastic work there for Ntuli.
Great stuff. And that's the second stinger he's had on that right hand. I think high fives will only go left hand for the next day or so.
Back to COVID protocols. Use the elbows.
Oh yeah.
Nicely looped up. Quick single taken. Lovely variation of speed there from Ntuli.
Completely slowed that up through the air. Not giving it away. You can see it surprised the batter there as well. Hendrik Pieters not expecting that to just bat up like it did. It's like a slow toppy.
That one's hit. Flash bang.
Lovely tempo. Lovely boy.
Past Hendrik Pieters, but there's a man standing at long on. Good to see the foot movement. It's only really Kabelo Sukakun in the first game of the day whom we've seen really take full advantage of the foot movement. Oh, it's hit straight back.
Lovely tempo.
Again, it's that stinger on that right hand again for Ntuli.
Oh, elbows, here we go. He's going to feel that tonight, I promise you that. He's going to be drinking with his right hand.
Man.
All the cold beverages will be in that hand.
With an ice pack on the right hand because he still has to play tomorrow.
See him just changing the field around. He's keeping it nice and tight. All that experience coming through. Busy with his third over. Only conceding the 15 runs thus far. And only tripling up on singles in this over.
One more. Oh yeah, tempo.
Seems like the spinners have had decent return for their efforts here if they know how to land it on the right and correct areas.
On this deck, it's more the length than anything else. It's
Ball. Run him out.
Take a sharp single here, shy for the stumps. They thought they had a chance, but it will be an overthrow as they come back for 2. And it's the end of the 9th over. It's 58 for the loss of 2.
I think the Romano Blanche was more than right to go for his stumps there. Direct hits, I think he would have been found wanting.
But yes, you were talking to us. It's the importance here is it's the length for the bowlers that are bowling.
Yeah, it's the length that's the issue there, because that's where the pitch is just playing a little bit more difficult. It's just got that 2 pace, a little bit of pop in there as well. It just sits up. And if you go too short, it's almost like a tennis ball bounce. If you go too full, they can hit through the line. But just hitting that 5-6 meter markers, that's where it comes in. You can see every single batter that's come in, once that 5-6 meter mark has been hit, and the deck and the ball's been bowled into the deck, it just gives you that little bit of uncertainty if it's going to stay low, it's going to pop up.
We saw Hartus Viljoen take full advantage of that. His areas were rather immaculate. But here comes Tiaan Kokemoer. Another really good all-rounder, Tiaan Kokemoer. He was in that esteemed Tuks team, which had the likes of Aiden Markram, had your Lungingidi, it had all the big stars, that unbeatable UP Tuks side. He was part of that whole setup, Tiaan Kokemoer.
And he's no real pace, he's no sluggish. He's not a slow bowler, but I mean, he's no Hartus Viljoen.
Depending a lot on his skill and IQ of the game. Drifting down to the leg side, not really a high IQ delivery. It just slips down to the hips. It's punished away to the short boundary for 4.
Almost feels, seeing his action and seeing him bowling, that it almost feels like with him just angling the ball into the right-hander, that shot that we saw now off the hip is going to go to the shorter end of the ground, maybe swap him around, but let him bowl from the Hennips River end, and then he can go to the bigger side of the ground and have some protection there.
It's really true. The angle really assists that shot, but this time he's using the pace and the bounce against him, just guiding it down to that open third man side. Really well done from Lawrence Steenkamp.
Apart from Thule, Viljoen and Van Rensburg, the other 3 bowlers is not really hitting the lengths that they saw that their senior partners have shown them. And Tiaan Kokemoer going for a double 4 now. 9 already in his first 3 deliveries. And Lawrence Steenkamp has rocked on 30 from 20 deliveries.
If they're not careful here, the Northern Cape Heats, both these batters can really start going at big numbers and reel that score back heavily. Oh, going for a wild swing, slower delivery, off cutter, rolls to Mudiri to tape.
I think that's going to be at the end of the day, now it becomes part of your strategy. We're in the 10th over. The ball's a bit softer, so let's get the variations going. We saw that in the first match. As soon as there was variation, it was very difficult to play. We saw in the first innings here as well. The variation is what makes the difference.
Because if you go full pace, right on the slot, you will be taken out of the park. What a glorious looking shot from Lawrence Steenkamp. Right in there to be hit by Tiaan Kokemoer. And it's a maximum.
Just look at the free flow of the arms going bang. Lovely shot. As soon as he hit it, he knew it was sailing onto the grass embankment. A 6er.
Not a great delivery that from Tiaan Kokemoer, especially seeing how free-flowing Steenkamp is. Much better. That's a much better length. Like you're saying, if you just go slightly fuller, they can easily play you through the line. And if you go way too short, it's going to stand up and just be smacked away. But that length from Tiaan Kokemoer, that's where he needs to be. And halfway through the innings, in 74 for 2.
That's exactly the lengths that we've seen. That is the critical part of your bowling setup. You've got to have the right lengths. You even get away with a bit of line if the length is good. We've seen that on this deck. So, and the outfield is so quick that a little bit of timing just takes the ball away from the fielders as well.
It's going to be very, very important now. We're going into the last 10 overs of the innings. This partnership has reached 50 runs between Heinrich Peters and Lawrence Steenkamp, and it might be that anchor innings or anchor partnership that can really bring the team close.
Touch him all, yeah. Good purchase there. Some purchase
A
there.
little break here for the Northern Cape Heat will be all they wishing for.
Catch him.
As we see Rowan Haasbroek coming to the attack, and as I say, that what a shot that is through the covers.
Glorious shots. Hello, Ruan Hasbrook. I've faced you in the nets quite a few times because he is a former Limpopo player. Properly dispatched that from Steenkamp. And he consolidates his boundary neatly. The ball slips through mid-wicket. Great awareness. And even the Limpopo dugouts agrees.
This is very dangerous signs for the Northern Cape Heat. They started off brilliantly, and now all of a sudden it's just edging a little bit closer because 101 of 57 deliveries. There was a bit of oomph there, a bit of viper in the pitch.
Going for a slog sweep, they appeal slightly though. Ball seems to be just continuing down the line of off stump. Come back for a single.
Yes, Rowan Haasbroek is going for 7 in this over thus far.
Tempo, not too far. You're perfect there.
Just making the adjustment to the field for the left-hander.
Mano, you want to be just in front of point.
He's got the man is going to extra cover.
A lot, please. A lot.
Then he's got the 3 boundary riders on the leg side.
Mano,
At square and a deep mid wicket, and also long on and long off.
Oh, that is a naughty delivery. Naughty delivery from Hasbrook. It's overpitched, it's on the hip, it's a full toss on the short boundary. It's going to be easy work for Heinrich Peters.
Christmas in August. That was a lovely flick of the wrist. Just look at him, just getting underneath it. Boom, just a flick of the wrist. And that's another 6 at the short end of the boundary there on that grass embankment. And edging a bit closer. Look at that run rate. It's now up to 7.9. It's getting closer to that required 10.4.
94 runs to win from 54 deliveries. Sounds like a gettable target, especially if your players who are now on the crease are as set as this and are starting to play their strokes. The biggest worry here for the Northern Cape Heat is the disparity between the 3 opening bowlers and the rest of the bowling pack. 7 overs between the first 3 bowlers, only giving away 34 runs in those 7 overs. The rest of the team have bowled the other 4 overs, and the rest of the runs, 51 of them, come from those 4 overs from the extra 4 bowlers. That's the difference here in the batting of Impalas. They are attacking those change bowlers and are taking full advantage of it.
Just shows you what a championship team looks like. They didn't panic when it didn't go well in the power play. They're holding their own, and now all of a sudden they got bowlers that they can attack, with Ramon Blanche coming back, who went for 13 in his first over.
Let's see what the left armour can do now. It's a little bit fuller. Ideally, you'd want him to pull the length back just a little bit. Don't mind getting an edge of the ball running down to the 3rd man, rather than him getting a nice healthy crack through the covers.
Now also maybe go a bit wider, exploiting the big area of the field, making sure that he hits to the longer part of the grounds.
Something along those lines. That's the most ideal delivery. He gave that length I'm asking for. He gave that width that you're talking about. And you saw the miscomforts or discomforts of Lawrence Steenkamp as he played that. He moves to 45 though.
He's looking very set of 30 deliveries, and then Heinrich Peters, 27 of 15. The left armour to the left-hander.
just overpitched a couple of deliveries in his first over, Romano Tablanche. Oh, that kept low. That was nearly dislodging the bails. Lucky Heinrich Peters.
Oh my word, I would love to see where this ball actually pitched and how far down the track it was. Definitely back of a length, and oh my word, if that paint wasn't regulation, they would have taken off the bails.
Now that's a short ball and it works. It's the only one for the over.
You can just see Peters just standing there thinking, okay, I thought I had this deck worked out, and you can just see the slowness of the bounce here. Definitely rolling his fingers, that slower bouncer doing the trick. Romano Tablanche coming back very nicely after his first over.
And that ball keeping low 2 balls ago just raises a different question mark now for the batters. And it's lovely variation work here from Romano Tablanche. They're coming back for 2 though. Excellent running. Good cricket overall, because it genuinely is smart bowling here from Romano Tablanche. He's keeping the batters on their toes, and the most important thing is that he's actually executing on these ideas of his.
Yeah, going very, very well. 2 runs, again, won't hurt the Northern Cape Heat.
Fantastic over from Romano Tablanche. That will be stopped in the deep by the long on. Comes back for 1. Only 4 runs from the over from Romano Tablanche. Great control over every single thing that he did. Slower balls, slower shorter balls, quicker ones on the back of a length. Really asking the batters to think. Even Yorkers being dived in there. It's 12 overs completed, 91 for 2.
Looking at the scorecard there, sees where Musondo just never looked comfortable, did he? Especially against Hardesviljoen. So only scoring 12 runs of 17 deliveries. And Ludwig Geitzner going out, caught behind by Teteko as well from Hardesviljoen, the outside edge. That was for 2 runs of 6. Well, again, didn't look comfortable against the veteran. But these two have done a fantastic job. Lawrence Steenkamp, 45 of 30. And Heinrich Peters, 30 of 19. Building a big partnership here. 90 of 48 is the equation.
See, this is what must happen. First over went going for 13 runs. Captain putting trust on his bowlers. That's why they are there. It's what they're here for in the team, and they repay that favor by doing the right thing and bowling properly. Haasbroek went for 13 runs in his first over. How can he bring it back? Because the load must be distributed between the bowlers. Oh, proper shots, that is. Proper cricket stroke from Lawrence Steenkamp. He moves to 49.
A lovely shot, just a shimmy down the track and bang! Straight over the bowler's head. Just look how he went. Got to the pitch of the ball. Lovely follow through. 1 bounce into the advertising board.
Lovely flow off the bat, that from Steenkamp. He's looked good for his innings, and boy oh boy does he deserve his half century. It is a fantastically played innings from Lawrence Steenkamp, taking 32 balls for him to reach his 50. It is inclusive of 7 fours and 1 6.
A lovely distribution of runs as well. After boundary, always looking for that single.
Oi, swinging for the heavens is Heinrich Peters. He doesn't want to be left out in the party. He's been looking also doing well on 31 from 21.
That was a bit unexpected. That came out of nowhere.
Well, he got that one working, but still hitting the poles right at the long on fielder. He's unhappy with himself. He seemed just punching his bat. Could have timed it better with long on. Very square.
Ronan!
A big V to aim on.
I think he's just frustrated that he went for that big heave-ho.
Deft touch, but Hardesviljoen is there to stop it. It's just going to be a single. And an over where 8 runs were taken away. A better over than the one he bowled at first. It's 99 for 2 after 13. 82 from 42.
And every time they don't reach that required run rate, which is now at 11.7, it just goes up by that decimal the whole time. They're batting at 7.6, and it's just almost getting to 2 runs per ball. They're close to that at the moment. So once they reach that 12, it becomes very difficult, because now you almost got to double up the whole time.
And the proof is in the pudding. You look at the first 3 bowlers, extremely economical. They've bowled the majority of the overs as well. They need to find a way to continue scoring against the changes, but Blanche bowled a spectacular second over. It's forcing the players to play on to that long boundary, and that's the advantage of the left armour bowling to the right-hander from this side of the pitch.
You can see he's not trying to swing it into him. He's just taking it across the right-hander. And he'll most likely, for the left-hander, just be aiming at the stumps or into those legs, make him work it into that big part of the ground.
Deep square leg is waiting, cow corner is waiting, long on as well. Short fine leg are your only 4 fielders on the leg side. That's where you expect the ball to go. It's exactly what he does. Very good bowling, charging for the stumps. Steenkamp makes it home.
Hands on heads, that just looked very, very close, didn't it? And just see the reaction of the fielders saying, oh my greatness, that was close.
Quick running though, good judgment, good call. They didn't hesitate. The moment you hesitate, that's where you're going to be defeated. So if you are convicted in what you're doing, you stick to it. They get the reward.
Just off the picture there, seeing the big man Hardesvlin rolling his back.
It would make sense. It seems like now they're just getting a way to play the game. The way the runs are just flowing easily. Hardesvlin still has 2 overs. Van Rensburg has 2 overs. Wouldn't be a bad idea to just pop in one into the middle to try and break the cycle. He's been by far the best bowler here, Hardesvlin. Get one, and then we see you back later in over number 19 or 20.
And even Van Rensburg, maybe for 1 over, have one of them bowl 2 and the other one 1. That will just put all the pressure back onto the batting team. And the Limpopo Impalas have had no answer, except for the 1-4 that was hit from Van Rensburg, which came off Lawrence Steenkamp. And other than that, they've had no answer for Ntule, Viljoen or Van Rensburg. So that's 5 overs you got from them. 14 overs gone. Let them bowl the 5 now. Put all the pressure on the batting team.
And Blanche is not doing too badly, but just overpitched that one after constructing his over so well. He gives it away, and it runs for 4.
I think that's why they're asking Hardesvlin to warm up. I think Van Rensburg will come into the attack as well, just making sure that this middle part don't bring it too close, because it's only 74 of 37 now. 1 more delivery to go in this 14th over. So they don't want it too close in the end.
We said this, these quiet-ish overs are the ones that sets the platform. And it goes wider this time, over the top. There's no one standing in the deep at the 3rd man. It will be 4 runs. A great over at the end of the day for the Limpopo Impalas. They need 70 from 36.
And we might get that close finish that we're asking for. Who knows? But it's my stint for the day. Pendulo Makubane, have yourself a fantastic session with the legend himself, Ken Borland, the voice and the legend.
And Nelson, the Limpopo Impalas, 111 for 2. And Pendulo, we are in for a thrilling finish here. 70 runs needed off the last 36 balls. And from a chase that seemed to be just fading away, Lawrence Steenkamp and Heinrich Petersen have really reignited this game with their partnership of 88 for the 3rd wicket. And as predicted, Hardesvlin will return to the attack. 2 overs, 2 for 6 so far. And, well, his job is obvious. He needs to take a wicket, break this partnership.
There's nothing else that he should be doing now, Ken. He's been doing it for his first 2 overs. He's been doing it for his whole career. And right now, the other thing is that the Limpopo Impalas have a lot of wickets in hand. 8 of them, in fact. But we've seen that getting yourself in here is not too easy. So ideally, the Impalas would want Steenkamp and Peters to continue their stay for as long as possible.
Absolutely. And the Northern KP just making some very delicate alterations to the field. Hardisviljoen has a man at deep extra cover, a man at deep backward point, and a man at third man, one at deep square leg as well. Here he is. Good wide Yorker. That'll just be a single to third man.
It's exactly what we're going to expect. The wide stuff, forcing the batters to try and hit on the long boundary. He's got that extra bounce and he also has that extra pace. It's going to be a little bit more difficult for the left-hander to try and, or for the batters actually, to try and manipulate the ball to wherever they want. And when he is in full rhythm, he dictates the terms. And that's what he is here today, Hardisviljoen.
Right-hander back on strike, Lawrence Steenkamp. Trying to cramp him, Hardisviljoen. He's done it well, just a single again. He's well protected on that leg side with 3 boundary riders. And you can see him trying to stop the batsman from accessing the short offside boundary. Really angling it into his pads. Back to the wide Yorker, to the left-hander, brilliantly executed. Must have been fairly close to the wide mark.
It's really good. Even the umpire saying, nah, you shim it across, which he really did. Went straight under the bat. Really good bowling here from Hardisviljoen. And with the Limpopo Impalas, actually, they wouldn't be too disgruntled at how this over is going, so long as they keep their wickets.
Oh, the full toss now slapped away. But that deep extra cover is well placed, so it's just a single. 67 needed off 32 balls now. And just singles so far in this over.
Personally, I wouldn't even mind Hardisviljoen completing his overs right now. The next guy comes in and he comes in and completes, so that in the last couple of overs, there's even more pressure for the Impalas to try and score.
And they're appealing for the court behind. It's given. Umpire Gaza raises his finger. Hardisviljoen has his 3rd wicket. What a marvellous display of classy fast bowling that has been by the veteran. And he gets the key wicket of Lawrence Steenkamp for 63 or 40 deliveries.
And it's the difference in the wickets that he's getting. The first 2, nice and full, edge to the keeper. This one banged in halfway through the surface. He gets a little feather, does Lawrence Steenkamp, who was looking to take on the man who's standing at deep square leg, using the pace of Viljoen, but extra bounce. He's got him culprit. It's 3 wickets gone for 114, and most importantly, Hardisviljoen does the job he was brought into.
Absolutely. And almost like the surprise short ball. He knew that Lawrence Steenkamp had to go at it. He would have a swing at it. And as you said, just that extra bounce, that extra venom, and edged through to the wicketkeeper. And that's a massive blow for Northern Cape Heat, as we see Mboweni is coming to the wicket. He had a bit of a torrid time in the field. See if he can make amends with the bat.
He dropped the man that he is facing now. Hardisviljoen, he was still very, very fresh onto the crease. He edged one high into the air, going to the short third man where Mboweni was standing, and he floored him. So can he pay back and get back those runs? Not lose his wickets, importantly, but Hardisviljoen is just on fire today.
Yeah, Tlamulo Mboweni. His first task, I suggest, would be to just take the one, get off strike, well, it's the last ball of the over, so maybe just defend. Oh, he also has a go at the Hardisvillian short ball misses, and that's the end of an outstanding over by Hardisvillian. 3 runs and the wicket off it, and Limpopo Impalas 114 for 3 now after 15 overs. They need 67 to win in the last 5 overs.
And it's going to be a dampen onto their spirits, having lost Steenkamp in that over. He was looking to go big, but now the equation does not read too well for the Limpopo Impalas. Even when we look at the comparison going into the last 5 overs, the Northern Cape Heat, they were on 130. And now these guys are behind by over 20 runs to the score of the Northern Cape Impalas. Oh, the Northern Cape Heat, rather. So now in the last 5 overs, how are they going to play this?
Well, no respite in terms of the bowling, because Benjamin van Rensburg, the left-arm quick, who was very slippery and swung the ball in his first 2 overs, conceded just 11 runs. He's back. And the responsibility has really shifted onto Heinrich Petersen now for the Limpopo Impalas. He started off very fluently and then kind of was happy to play a supporting role as Lowe and Steenkamp caught fire, but Petersen now needs to explode. Oh, well bowled by van Rensburg, angling into the pads. Can they come back for 2? Yes, they will. Good running by Mboweni. He's made it back despite the stumps being broken. Petersen keeps the strike. 65 needed off 29 balls.
Romano Blanche has been handling his bowlers really well. It's just been exchanging them, and is not under bowling the bowlers who have been doing the job. And now they're here in the final overs of the innings, having to close off the job.
Again, in the block hole from van Rensburg, very well struck by Petersen, but long on has got across, and it's just the single this time.
With every single ball that is on a boundary, they are falling deeper and deeper with that required run rate. Their current run rate is 6 runs behind the required run rate. So they literally are a 6 and over behind. That's what they need to cover right now, and it just doesn't look like it will be coming given how Viljoen, van Rensburg and Ntuli have been bowling.
Yeah, it's 2 quality pace bowlers that Northern Cape have deployed to great effect in this innings. When you put it like that, the required rate is 6 ahead of the achieved rate. Shows the mountain that Limpopo have to climb. Full and wide this time, and again it's going to just be some excellent scrambling fielding in the covers. Is that Tepo and Thuli? I think it is. So just 4 runs off the first 3 balls of this over. Boundaries required. Heinrich Petersen, can he find where are his boundary options? Unfortunately, the leg side is a very long boundary for him. He goes straight, chipped more than firmly struck, but he's going to get it to the fence. Good shot by Heinrich Petersen.
That was very much needed. Slightly fuller this time from van Rensburg. And he clears that front leg in order to open the room straight up over the top. No one standing at long off. Brave to take on Viljoen, and he wins.
Yeah, I think Petersen kind of predicted that van Rensburg would again be aiming for his pads. Got his legs out the way. Oh, that's going to be a wide, surely. A bouncer that bounced a lot.
Looking to fight back and saying, oh, you hit me, let me try get you back. But it just gives an extra delivery here, does Benjamin van Rensburg.
And the extra run, so 58 needed now off 26 balls. There's just one fielder on the boundary on the offside. So the square cover. So that also encouraging van Rensburg to bowl. Very straight, bit of width. Slap down to long on. Just the one.
It's very well done here by Van Rensburg. Yes, he's gotten hit for a 4, but he still kept it tidy. So long as it doesn't get hit for 13 runs, he's done the correct job for his team to just continue applying the pressure to the Limpopo Impalas.
Mboweni off the inside edge. Gets a single, survives. And he'll be on strike at the start of the next over. 123 for 3, 57 needed off 24 deliveries. 56 needed off 24.
It's getting really tougher now, Ken. 4 overs to go. And just given with the nature of this match as a whole, wouldn't say it has been the most explosive game regarding the scores, even though it is 180. And the reason why I point that out is we look at the likelihood of that 56 being scored in the next 4 overs. Unless if Heinrich Peterser is really getting in and goes for broke, not lose his wicket, it's a tall order to climb here for the Limpopo Impalas.
And with Mboweni on strike, the new batsman, the Northern Cape Heat have decided to get rid of the spinner in Thule's last over. He's bowled very well, 3 overs for just 17.
Run him out, run him
You
out!
better get back, Stephen Kump.
Back up.
He was looking for the one, came charging, nearly got into trouble. Oh, that's a good hit by Mboweni. High and handsome. Over cow corner and over the boundary fence goes the fielder.
Well, we always need some little bit of comic relief. At least he's up on his feet. It was a massive stroke from Ntlamulo Mboweni. You have to hit it really big to get over that mark. Oh, he saw that he had no hope. And then he had to hide himself of shame and hide behind the fences.
It's a mighty blow that. It's with the wind, but it's such a long boundary. Wow, Mboweni. Well, he's shown he can strike it, that's for sure.
And just to show the immensity of the boundary, you hit it that well and you still have a fielder who might be interested. Shows how big it is.
And now he'll get Peterser back on strike. Just that shot will create a little bit of anxiety amongst the Northern Cape team. They know they can't take Mboweni for granted. 49 needed of 21 balls. What can Heinrich Peterser do now? The ball turning away from him, of course, as a left-hander. Swing. They're appealing for the stumping, but umpire Yusen is not particularly interested.
Must say that if the runs to win are below 50, let's take a look at this attempted stumping. Ditego might have a case there.
Well, yeah, you need a TV replay to decide if the foot was up or not. He was just sort of shuffling around in the crease, may have lifted the back leg. Wicketkeeper Ditego very sharp, and that's beautifully struck by Heinrich Peterser over cow corner for 6. And that's the danger, as well as Chepo and Thule has bowled in this innings. Once the death comes along and the guys are swinging for the hills with one short boundary, it does create danger. The second 6 of the over.
It's a massive hit. 13 runs in the over. Heinrich Peterser just so close to his 50 now.
And he might get it now, straight down the line. Will they come back for 2? No, they'll settle for 1. It's the end of the over. And a good over for the Limpopo Impalas. 14 off it. And it's 139 for 3 after 17 overs. They need 14 and over now for the last 3. Not impossible, especially with Heinrich Peterser going well. And Ntlamulo Mboweni showing that he can clear the fence as well.
Dole completes his spell, though, going for round 7 to the over. It's that final over that just distorted his figures. Hardest for Yoon, he has one more over left. He's been the destructor. And here's Benjamin van Rensburg, who's gone for 22 runs that wicket column only is Hartus Viljoen, who's made an impact on it though.
Van Rensburg's bowled really well too, and it'll be him, Viljoen, and Romano to Blanche who will probably close this out. Swung off the legs, just too straight from Van Rensburg, and that's 50 for Heinrich Petersen off just 35 deliveries. A fine knock indeed on debut for the Northern Cape, for the Limpopo Impalas rather.
Very much needed this innings. The context of the game is pear-shaped towards the Limpopo Impalas. They need something to smile on, and someone who can take the game back on to the Northern Cape heat.
38 needed off 17. Low full toss, and again he's got it away behind square on the leg side, but it was a bit of an inside edge, so he'll only get 2 this time.
Great running, that so much awareness between the two players. Fielder had to run from square leg to go to a very square fine leg to collect the ball, which gave enough time for the two to exchange another single.
Oh, brilliant by Petersen. Steps inside and just lifts it over short fine leg. Very nearly a 6. It has gone for 4 though. And Van Rensburg is suddenly under pressure here. He's stuck pretty much to the same line at the pads of the left-hander, and Petersen has worked it out now. And he's cashing in. That was beautifully played.
Turning the screws here is Heinrich Petersen. And the thing is, whenever the amount of runs to win are below 50 and your balls are still double digits, you can't help but feel that there are ways that you can bring the score back. It was 49 to win from 24 deliveries, and now it's 15 to win from 32. The required run rate says it's 13 per over, but when you look at the equation, it's much more closer than what you'd think.
Well, I'll tell you, if they get it down to, say, 24 of 12, Limpopo will back themselves to get that. So just 1 or 2 more boundaries, and Limpopo are very much in this contest. That'll just be a single to mid-off.
It's already a damaging over this. 11 runs, and with that single, they bring up their 150 to the Limpopo Impalas. Sure, if it was in the 20th over, the cheers would have been lesser. But right now, because they have a chance of actually winning this game, there's a sense of hope and belief in the Impala's dugout.
Right, Van Rensburg bowling to the right-hander. Not much change in the field. The long boundaries now on the offside. He's bringing one man in, and he is going to send long on back, which seems sensible. 2 men in the ring on the offside now. Cover and extra cover. Ooh, high full toss. That should be a wide or a no ball, surely. No, he's gotten away with it all. My word. Benjamin van Rensburg, very lucky.
Possibly one of the worst dot balls I've seen. But it works. It works like a charm for Benjamin van Rensburg. That looked wide.
Definitely a wide, yeah, well. There we go again. That one's closer, beats the bat. They're appealing for caught behind, but bat hit the ground. But they'll be very happy to end the over with 2 dots. It was an expensive over. 11 off the first 4 balls and then 2 dots. So 150 for 3 after 18 overs. And those important 2 dot balls mean that Limpopo need 31 off the last 2 overs.
Oh, it's going to be a bit of an ask. Romano Blanche had a rather questionable first over, but his next 2 brought everything back. And Hartus Viljoen still has an over remaining, and we might see him now come to bowl. He'll be running down the Henops River end. He took his wickets down the Henops River end.
Yeah, and teams generally try and have their best bowler bowl the 19th over, the penultimate over. So, yeah, got his wickets from that end. It's the 19th over. It seems an obvious choice. Hardisvillion, outstanding figures so far. 3 for 9 in his 3 overs. And the offside is the long boundary. He's got a cover and a third man inside the ring. The cover is now dropping to, really, a deep gully. Interesting field placing. I think fairly obvious that Hardisvillion is going to bowl wide Yorkers to the left-handed Heinrich Peterser. He's got a deep extra cover, a deep backward point, and a long on and a deep square leg. 31 needed off 12. Oh, well played by Peterser. He's only going to get a single for it, unfortunately.
That's what I wanted to see, coming around the wickets to the left-hander with the short boundary on the leg side. I wanted to see how he can desensitize Hendrik Peters from accessing that leg side. And I thought if you come over the wicket, push the ball across, it's much more harder to use that angle to bring the ball back to where it came from. But it worked. He got the single. Nkamu Lomboweni is on strike, and a bigger chance for him to get a wicket here.
Going for the Yorker. It's a low full toss, which is fine. It'll just be a single to Mboweni.
Lovely, man.
The one thing about Hardisvillion's game plan with this field setting and the wide Yorkers is the batter does kind of know where it's coming. He knows where to expect it. It's another matter, though, trying to get a boundary off it. So Villion back to around the wicket to the left-hander, and slight change to leg side. Long on comes up, but cow corner goes back. Yeah, well bowled. He's finding those wide Yorkers very well. Is Hardisvillion, and it's 29 needed off 9 balls now.
His rhythm has just been outstanding the whole day. It's like he's dancing. Just look at how graceful he is to the pitch. Everything is just flowing so poetically. No wonder he's had superb control throughout the course of the day.
Oh, there's the wayward run down leg. So a wide. Extra ball, so that will make the equation 28 needed off 9 balls.
He's brought it back well here, has Hardisvillion. For a moment, there was strong belief in the Limpopo Impalas camp, and now with 9 balls remaining, gets back to a tense situation. It doesn't look like they're going to do much damage in this over the way Villion is bowling.
Steered away past that deep gully, but again, it'll just be a single. This is outstanding bowling by Hardisvillion.
It's out of this world, and now I understand why he has those 2 gullies there. It's exactly for that. It was slightly wider of one, but the fact that he has 3 fielders protecting that third man area shows clearly what his game plan is. And like you said earlier on, Ken, it's one thing knowing what you're going to receive, it's another thing dealing once it comes to you.
Bolden swung across the line. The ball just nipped back at Mboweni a bit there, and Hardisvillion has his 4th wicket. This has really been a masterclass of pace bowling by the veteran. 4 for 13 now, and Limpopo slide to 154 for 4. Mboweni out for 10 off 10 balls.
Oh, this is so good from Hardisvillion. My goodness, the readjustment to go back to that perfect length to hit the top of the stumps. Just coming back off the seam as well, hitting that leg and off and middle stump. And he gets his man. He's 4 from 13. He's 1 ball away. He really deserves a fifer just given the way he's been bowling, but deserving it and getting it are 2 separate things. It's 154 for 4.
All-rounder Morne Fenter comes to the crease. did decently with the ball. But, wow. Limpopo need 27 or 7 balls. Can Fenter find a boundary here? Just to give them a little bit of hope heading into the final over. Backs away. He's only going to get 1. And so that's the end of Hardisviljoen's stint today. Absolutely outstanding. 4 overs, 4 for 14. If ever there was a man of the match display, we've seen it today from the new signing for the Northern Cape Heat.
If this is anything to go by, he might have a good time in Division 2. Hopefully he continues in this vein. And for the Northern Cape, what an asset to have. You've lost Jan van Dijk, who was your premier fast bowler, and this is basically a like-for-like replacement between Johan van Dijk and Hardisviljoen. Same type of bowler, same type of attributes, just that Viljoen comes with the experience, comes with the know-how, comes with an international cap, and now he's showing his worth for the Northern Cape Heat.
So, left armer Romano Tablanche has the final over, and he has 26 runs to play with. So, I'm sure he'll be pretty confident, although the short boundary is on the leg side as he starts the over to Morne Venter. Heinrich Petersen, of course, a left-hander, so he's got the long leg side boundary if and when he gets on strike. Long on, deep square leg, third man, and deep cover and long off on the boundary. Not letting him access the leg side, Romano Tablanche. They'll give him 2, that's fine.
This is really good captaincy from Romano Tablanche. It's absolutely brilliant because so easily you could have thrown Hardisviljoen in this end to come and bowl the final over. There's an incentive in making him bowl the 19th in the Hennops River end so that he, the left armer, can push the ball across so that it's much more easier to hit on the long side of the boundary. It stifles that run scoring again.
It's nicely played by Venter. Third man will cut it off though. It'll just be 2. So 22 needed now off 4 balls. Morne Venter has to find the boundary with this delivery for Limpopo to have any chance.
It's just unfortunate that Petersen finds himself in the non-striker end in this over.
Excellent bowling by Romano Tablanche.
All he needs now are 3 legal deliveries of any sort, and it will be the Northern Cape Heat who will take the victory.
Yeah, given that this is a pre-season warm-up game, if you like, Romano Tablanche will still want to finish well, get the ball in the right area, much like that last delivery, although he's now bowling to the left-hander with the long boundary on the leg side. He might be content bowling a little bit more towards off-stump. Oh no, it's way down leg wide. So 21 needed off 3 now.
Game is not over until it's over. It can only finish once it's over. And just a little bit wayward there from Romano Tablanche. Would really want to fix that.
He didn't change his line back from the right-hander to the left-hander. It's going to be another wide. 20 needed off 3 balls.
And all of a sudden the tie is back on the table. It was gone, and now it is. Just 2 wide deliveries from Tablanche, and like you said, struggling to readjust his line.
That's well bowled, right in the block hole. And Petersen trying to make something of it, trying to hit it back over the infield, straight down the ground, but instead it's straight to mid-off. And that's the end of a good fight by Heinrich Petersen. 62 or 41 balls. Kept Limpopo in the game, he and Lawrence Steenkamp, but just a little bit too much to do here at the end.
Seems like Romano Blanche was just giving them fake hope. Saying, hey, maybe you got it here. No, I'm actually going to take a wicket now. Bye, guys. And now he's really taken the equation away from the Limpopo Impalas. The last couple of balls left. In comes Khatebe. Oh, it's not Khatebe. It's just wearing the shirts of Khatebe.
Yes, we had this confusion earlier in the day. Just to reiterate that the teams haven't had their new kit delivered yet for the new season. New season officially only beginning in September, so a few of them are wearing other players' shirts.
I know if I don't perform, Ken, I will say it's because my name wasn't on my shirt. If I have my name on my shirt, I'll score you the 50.
It's Delivia Ridgard, who's at the crease, the wicket keeper. Gets off the mark with a couple, but 17 runs now required off this last delivery.
Impalas fought a good fight. But it comes to an end now.
Oh, just sneaking past leg stump there. And that's the end of the match, and a pretty comfortable victory in the end for the Northern Cape Heat. They've won by 16 runs, led by the outstanding bowling of Hardisvillian, 4 for 14 in his 4 overs. Very well supported by the left-arm quick Benjamin van Rensburg. Teppo Ntuli bowled his off-spin really well too. And for Limpopo Impalas, they didn't have the greatest of starts, but then Lawrence Steenkamp and Heinrich Petersen had an excellent third wicket partnership, which brought them back in with a bit of hope. And it really required Hardisvillian with a couple of wickets when he came back for his last 2 overs to kill off that hope.
It was a highly technical game of T20 cricket. You normally associate T20 cricket with a lot of explosiveness, a lot of screams, but this was a well-measured match from both innings. Gert talked about it earlier, saying that it was a grindy innings, and even in return, it's still a grindy innings as Impalas are trying to bring it back down. However, they fall short despite of those great partnerships, and 2 games have been played here today. Fantastic century by Kabelo Kokone to start off the day. Great bowling from Aman Khan to back him up. And now we come to this game. Rowan Hansbroek against his former team, scoring the runs. And the captain with great choices, great field placement, great bowling changes. And Hardisvillian paying him back. It's Supersport Park here, and they've brought us a really great day of cricket.
And the good news is there'll be another great day of cricket tomorrow. The Momentum Health Challenge continues tomorrow, and the first game at 9:30 a.m. And judging by what happened today, it's going to be a cracker. Mm-hmm. It's the 2 winners from today: the Eastern Storm, who beat the Eastern Cape Inyati by 37 runs this morning. Well, they'll be taking on the Northern Cape Heat, who have just dispatched the Limpopo Impalas by 16 runs. So 9:30 a.m. tomorrow, Supersport Park. The action is back underway. Do join us again on Pitch Vision, Cricket South Africa's YouTube channel as well. And we'll see you tomorrow. It's a very good afternoon from myself, Ken Borland, Impendulo Magubane, apologies, and Gert Maloney.